Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As tonight's a rubber match of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. We got a good one here in store as it's Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by U of U Health. As the Grizzlies are looking to end February on a winning note, they are 5-3-3 in the month of February, and they've been outstanding offensively in the month. They have scored 48 goals in 11 games in February, but last night, the Tahoe Night Monsters put together a grade A defensive effort, as last night, Grizzlies lost 3-1. Riley Connors scored Utah's lone goal, 10:57 into the second period. It was a power play goal, and the Grizzlies' power play certainly been mighty. They were 1 for 3 on the power play last night, and they have 18 power play goals in their last 17 games. Tahoe, they've played 6 periods in this series, 3 on Wednesday and 3 on Friday. They've scored exactly 1 goal in each of the 6 periods. They put up a picket fence on the box score as they had a first period goal from Jake Derflinger, a second period goal from Trenton Zwick. That was a 4-on-4 goal, and it was the first 4-on-4 goal allowed by the Grizzlies this season. And then Jake McGrew added a third period insurance goal. The goaltending matchup tonight's going to feature Jordan Paperny for the Night Monsters. He's looking for his 14th win. And for the Grizzlies, it's Hunter Miska. He's making his second straight start. He saved 29 of 32 last night and did a good job keeping the Grizzlies within striking range. We'll see if the special teams play a factor once again. The Grizzlies won the special teams battle last night as they were 1 for 3 on the power play and a perfect 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Watch out for Riley Connors. Obviously, he had Utah's lone goal, 10:57 into the second period last night. He's been absolutely outstanding in the month of February. He has 11 goals and 5 assists in 11 games, and he also has a current 5-game point scoring streak. Well, if you're in the West Valley area, come on out and join us as it's Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. It's game 2 of 2 for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. The Grizzlies going to be wearing specialty jerseys tonight. You can go to the Dash Auction app and you can purchase one of those game-worn specialty jerseys that the Grizzlies not only wore last night, but they'll wear tonight as well. So it should be a ton of fun. And it looks like a pretty good crowd is already filing in here for a Saturday night. It looks like it's going to be one of the biggest home crowds of the regular season. When we come back, we'll talk about the Grizzlies' production in the month of February. And we'll talk about who's been hot. And really, this is a big game in the Mountain Division standings. Right now, the Grizzlies are 12 points back of fourth-place Tahoe, and that's certainly important as the top 4 teams in each division reach the playoffs. And the Grizzlies do have a bit of catching up to do over the last month and a half of the season. So when you got head-to-head games against Tahoe tonight, it's the last time the Grizzlies will face Tahoe this season. The Grizzlies also have some games against Rapid City and Wichita coming up later on in the regular season. And those are 2 other teams the Grizzlies are hoping to leapfrog for their pursuit of a playoff spot in this Grizzlies' final hunt. So you can't underestimate the importance of getting 2 standings points tonight, and maybe more importantly, making sure that Tahoe gets no points this evening as the Tahoe Night Monsters are at the 500 mark in the month of February. They are 5-5-0-1 in February. Well, Wednesday night, the Grizzlies won 8-3. Last night, Tahoe got a little bit of revenge, winning 3-1. 2 very different style games. We'll see who can dictate the pace and tempo in this one as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters for the 9th and final time this season. Utah's 3-5 overall against Tahoe, but they have won 3 of their last 5 meetings. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side as we're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 15 minutes from now as Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters for the 9th and final time this season. And it's going to be the final ever meeting between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. Well, it's been a pretty productive month of February for the Grizzlies, in particular on the offensive side of things. Utah's got a standing point in 8 of 11 games in February. They are 5-3-3 in the month. Utah's been very productive in the third periods of games in February as they have 19 third-period goals on 110 shots over their last 11 games. Grizzlies have scored 5 or more goals in 5 of the 11 games in February, and they're led by Danny Genev, the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award. Genev had 18 points in 11 games in February, 4 goals and 14 assists. He had a 5-point performance and a 6-point performance in the month of February. On February 4th in Tahoe, Genev had 5 points, 1 goal, and 4 assists as the Grizzlies that night got a 9-6 victory. And then this past Wednesday, Utah won 8-3, and it was the forward line of Genev, Timofeyev, and Riley Connors that certainly were outstanding. Genev had 1 goal and 5 assists as he picked up a career-high 6 points. Riley Connors had 2 goals and 2 assists. Connors has 16 points in 11 games in February, 11 goals and 5 assists. And Stepan Timofeyev's a +5 in his last 3 games, and he had 1 goal and 3 assists this past Tuesday. Reed Lebster, once again, has had a productive month. He has 13 points in 11 games in February, 6 goals and 7 assists. And Evan Friesen has 6 goals and 5 assists. He has 11 points in 11 games in February. And Aiden Hansen-Bucott has certainly been productive once again as he has picked up 10 points, 1 goal and 9 assists in February. Connors and Stepan Timofeyev each lead Utah in the month with a +5 rating. So the Grizzlies have been outstanding offensively in the month. They've got Hunter Miska going in net tonight. He suffered the loss last night, stopping 29 of 32. Kyle Kaiser's out with a lower body injury. Miska is the 8th different goaltender to appear in a game for the Grizzlies this season. It's the last game of the homestand. Remember, Utah will be on the road for a 3-game stop in I think the first game is going to be in the Central Time Zone in Bloomington. That's going to be this upcoming Friday, March 6th. It's going to be a 6 o'clock face-off. That'll be the final meeting between Utah and Bloomington this season. And then the Grizzlies will travel to Cincinnati, and they will face the Cyclones at 5:30 next Saturday, which will be March 7th. And March 8th will be a 1 o'clock start. Utah has been a strong road club this season. They're hoping to get the job done here on the Maverick Center ice this evening as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. And for Utah, they're looking to find a way to get the job done on the power play once again. Utah is averaging more than a power play goal per game over their last 17 contests. Grizzlies were also outstanding in the special teams department. And they're also going to have to put together a great 60-minute effort on the defensive side of things as Tahoe leads the league in goals per game at 3.62 on the season. Tahoe's got the second best power play in the league at 24.2%. Grizzlies are currently 7th in the league at a 22.3 power play clip. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. Good crowds filing in here on a Saturday night, and if you're in the West Valley area, come on out and join us as we're going to have a ton of fun here this evening. It's the second half of Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by U of U Health. We're back in 1 minute for the lineups for both teams. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle, more of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. I'm Tyson Whiting. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Tahoe Night Monsters, who have a record of 27, 21, 2, and 3. They're led by second-year head coach Alex Lowe. Night Monsters are in their second season of existence. Last year, they reached the second round of the Western Conference playoffs. Night Monsters have Jordan Paperny in net. This will be the 8th time he has faced the Grizzlies this season. Paperny has a record of 5-2 against Utah with a .903 save percentage and a 3.18 goals against average. Overall this year, Paperny's got a .909 save percentage and a 3.40 goals against average. He was the winning goaltender last night as he stopped 26 of 27. The starting defensive pairing for the Night Monsters includes Lyndon Algier, who's wearing number 7. He has 7 assists in 38 games. And he's going to be paired up with Samuel Mayer, who's wearing number 95. Mayer is his last name, but the Tahoe pronunciation guide says it's Mayer. He's got 11 goals and 14 assists in 11 games. So that's the starting defensive pairing for the Tahoe Night Monsters. Also watch out for Kalen Taylor, a talented defenseman. He'll be wearing number 5. Ben Lindbergh's also going to be in the lineup wearing number 40. Artur Cholach, number 47, is a plus 11 on the season. And C.J. Valerian is a plus 4 for the Night Monsters. The starting forwards for Tahoe include Devin Pugliani, who's got 23 goals and 22 assists in 53 games. Sloan Stanek has split time with Tahoe in the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights. Stanek in 31 games has 16 goals and 20 assists. And Kevin Wall is also going to be in the starting lineup wearing number 94. He has 15 goals and 22 assists in 34 games. Also watch out for Trenton Swick, who scored a goal last night in the second period. He has 19 goals this season. Eric Olson just signed with Tahoe a few days ago. He picked up a goal in the third period on Wednesday night. Also watch out for Jordan Gustafson, who's got an NHL contract with the Vegas Golden Knights. Gustafson's the reigning league player of the week, and he scored a goal on Wednesday night. Also watch out for Luke Adam, the Tahoe captain, who's got 16 goals and 23 assists in 50 games. The two Jakes, McGrew and Derflinger, have given the Grizzlies fits. Both Derflinger and McGrew scored a goal last night. Mike O'Leary has 9 goals in 47 games. Connor Merritt, 4 goals on 32 games. And those are the forwards for the Night Monsters tonight. Also in there is Keenan Stewart, a recent addition to the Tahoe roster, as well as Dawson McKenney, who also signed with the Night Monsters earlier this week. Tahoe's a high-powered offense. They lead the league in goals per game, and the Grizzlies are going to have to do a job defensively. The one thing Utah has done a good job of is not allowing Tahoe to score in bunches. They have played 6 periods in this series, and Tahoe has scored exactly 1 goal in each of these 6 periods. Now for the homestanding Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan, assistant coach Ryan Anderson, assistant coach and director of skill development is Jack Skilley, head equipment manager is DJ McFarland, assistant equipment manager is Miles Stewart, and the head athletic trainer is Brooke Timoney. We certainly give our best wishes to Miles Stewart. He's going through a rough time, and he's an outstanding guy, and we hope to see Miles soon. He's just a first-class person, and we're certainly thinking of Miles Stewart and his family at this time. Grizzlies come in with a record of 20, 26, and 7. They are 5, 14, and 4 here on the Maverick Center ice. Getting the start in net's going to be Hunter Miska, the former Arizona Coyote and Colorado Avalanche goaltender. Miska, in 3 games, has an 0-0-1 record. He just signed with the Grizzlies last week. He has a .930 save percentage and 2.58 goals against average. Jacob Musatelli is the backup. Kyle Kaiser and Anson Thornton reach out with lower body injuries. Grizzlies are rolling with 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. It's the same 18 skaters as we saw last night. The starting defensive pairing is going to include Luke Salem, who picked up a second period assist. Salem's been racking up assists quite a bit as of late. As in 50 games, he has 1 goal and 16 assists. And he's going to be paired up with Dylan Gratton, who just signed with the Grizzlies earlier this week. He is the younger brother of Tyler Gratton. He made his pro debut on his 23rd birthday this past Wednesday and had 1 assist. Gratton is a +1 in 2 games with Utah this week. He is 6 feet and 180 pounds. And if you see him on the street, he looks just like Zach Greinke, the former baseball pitcher. Colby Enns will be paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. AHB has 10 points in 11 games in February. Colby Enns leads all Grizzly defensemen with a +4 rating. And we also see Matu Boilar, who got in a fight in the second period with Ben Lindbergh, and it was maybe the best fight we've seen all year, as both guys threw pretty good punches at each other. Boilar leads the Grizzlies with 47 penalty minutes, and he's making his 36th appearance overall in this league. And he's going to be paired up with Andrew Noel, who's making his 5th appearance in a Grizzlies uniform. Noel has 3 goals and 7 assists in 35 games. He scored his first goal as a Grizzly this past Wednesday. So Noel and Boilar are going to be a defensive pairing tonight. Defensive scratches include Luke Antonacci, Robbie Stucker, Sage Weinstein, and Noah Gansky. The forward scratches are Rylan Kovacevic and Mike Gillette. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies include Luke Manning, who's got a goal in 4 of his last 6 home games. He has 5 goals and 12 assists in 34 games this season. Neil Shea picked up a second period assist last night. Shea has 8 goals and 15 assists in 30 games. And Maxim Barbashev will also be in there. He got a goal in the second period this past Wednesday in the first game of this 3-game set. Barbashev has 4 goals and 8 assists in 29 games. We will also see the forward line from left to right of Tyler Gratton, Evan Friesen, and Reed Webster. We will see a forward line of Danny Genev, Riley Connors, and Stepan Timofeyev. All 3 of them were a +4 on Wednesday, and all 3 of them had at least 4 points on Wednesday. And we also see a forward line of John Gillette, Yaroslav Yevdokimov, as well as Mikey Colella. Colella wearing number 96. In 20 games this season, he has 1 goal and 3 assists. Grizzlies come out of the tunnel with Brisbee waving the flag at center ice. Hunter Miska leads the Grizzlies. Utah's wearing the specialty jerseys tonight for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. It's the same jersey the Grizzlies wore last night. Black jersey with white numbers, white lettering, and a little bit of purple mixed in. Purple trim around the numbers and letters. It is a very sharp look. Go to the Grizzlies social media channels to find out what it looks like if you're viewing the game on YouTube. And remember, you can go to the Dash Auction app and bid on those game-worn jerseys. Frisbee's waving the flag at center ice with a spotlight nearby. The Tahoe Night Monsters hit the ice in a white jersey with teal numbers, black lettering, and black trim, black on the shoulders. Let's get the starting lineups for the Grizzlies from public address announcer Mark Larson.
First up, it's our MVP, the most valuable bear, Grizzly. Starting on defense, wearing number 6, Luke Salem. On defense, wearing number 25, Dylan Gratton. At forward, wearing number 16, Luke Manning. At forward, wearing number 22, Neil Shea. At forward, wearing number 92, Maxim Barbashev. And protecting our goal tonight, wearing number 35, Hunter Miska.
That's the lineup for the Utah Grizzlies, who are wearing a specialty jersey for the occasion. It's certainly a sharp look, as both teams are standing at their respective blue lines. We'll have our national anthem here shortly, as well as the colors. Good Saturday night crowd. If you're in the area, come on out and join us. We still have some seats available. Last game of the homestand. Remember, the Grizzlies' next homestand will be a 3-game series against the Tulsa Oilers on March 12th, 14th, and 15th. Now we'll have our colors here at Maverick Center on this Saturday night. Rubber match of a 3-game series.
Now, please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Black Ridge Elementary.
Great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters in the last of a 3-game series. Utah got an 8-3 victory on Wednesday night as Danny Genev had 6 points. Riley Connors had 2 goals and 2 assists. Stepan Timofeyev had 1 goal and 3 assists. Last night was more of a defensive-oriented game as Tahoe got a 3-1 victory as they had 1 goal in each of the 3 frames. Riley Connors scored a power play goal 10:57 into the second period. The 2 captains at center ice, Tyler Gratton for the Grizzlies, the second-year pro out of Pottstown, Pennsylvania, played his college hockey at Penn State and Arizona State, and Luke Adam, who played 90 NHL games, 87 of which with the Buffalo Sabres. He had 10 goals and 10 assists with Buffalo during the 2011-2012 season. Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by U of U Health as the Grizzlies are wearing specialty jerseys, and it is a sharp look. As Grizzlies will start out with a defensive pairing of Dylan Gratton and Luke Salem, and the forwards are going to be Luke Manning with Neil Shea and Maxime Barbashev. Good goaltending matchup tonight. Hunter Miska gets the start for the second straight game. He's got a .930 save percentage in 3 games with Utah. And for the Night Monsters, it's going to be Jordan Paperny, who's got a record of 13-9-1-1. 2 referees tonight, Jamie Pavia and Luke Gagnon. The linesmen are Craig Peterson and Andrew Collins. Grizzlies are going to be skating from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Tahoe in a white jersey with teal numbers and a little bit of black mixed in will skate from left to right. Manning will take the draw against Devin Poliani, and the draw is won by Utah, and we're underway. Dylan Gratton gets these in the Grizzlies zone in front of Miska. He'll pitch it behind his back towards Salem, who gets out to center ice, as Grizzlies will slide it ahead, and it's going to be icing on Utah as Neil Shea had the puck in Grizzlies territory, trying to get it ahead to Neil Shea, but Tahoe got back defensively, and so the Grizzlies are called for icing as we get our first whistle 11 seconds in. Who's your pick to click? Who's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go with went with Reed Lebster last night. I definitely think he's due to score a big goal for the Grizzlies this evening. I'm going to go with Evan Friesen, who's got 17 goals and 14 assists in 53 games. So Manning will take the face-off against Poliani for the second time here in 11 seconds. As Manning, the second-year pro, second full season, third overall with the Grizzlies out of Air Force and St. Thomas. Grizzlies win the draw. Shea will slide it ahead. Manning chases after a loose puck, and he'll tap it out towards center ice where Tahoe will fire it off the near wing wall. And Craig Peterson had his arm raised, and icing is on the Night Monsters. We've had 2 icing calls here in the first 26 seconds of play. So draw this time is going to come back towards Jordan Paperny as the Grizzlies make their first line change of the game. As Riley Connors is out there with Danny Genev and Stepan Timofeyev. Actually, a draw is going to be at neutral ice near the Tahoe bench, as if offside was called on the Night Monsters. As face-off won by Utah, Aiden Hansen-Bukata in his first shift of the game. Left wing's the Genev off his stick. As Tahoe will tap it off the boards, the puck will flub out towards center ice. Ends will direct it to his right off the stick of Timofeyev. Artur Cholach, number 47, skates around his own net, gets to Kalen Taylor in the near corner. Action deep in the Tahoe zone as Connors delivers a hit on Taylor. Puck goes from one corner to the other. Ends as a brush off his stick. Cholach skates around his net. Cholach off the wall towards Trent Swick, who's been a productive forward. He's got 19 goals in 48 games. He scored a second period tally last night. Genev gets the puck towards the left wing, dangling back and forth. He gets poked away by C.J. Valerian, who's trying to find it. Cholach gets the puck, and he'll backhand it ahead. It goes past Andrew Noel. Taking the puck is Swick, who's a big 6'6" forward. He fires lefty shot that goes high as it ricochets off the glass as he missed it high over the crossbar. Valerian rolls it around the boards. Adam lets it go as McGrew gets the cycling puck. He'll skate around Utah's net to the near side. McGrew scored a third period goal last night. He's got an A on his white sweater. Around the boards to a spot he vacated as Lindbaum will tap it around Lindberg. Now, Lindberg got in a fight with Boilar last night. Lindberg as puck to the right side. As action in the Grizzlies zone. Now Utah gets it. Riley Connors gets back checked. Take the puck away is O'Leary. He'll drop it for Valerian, who sliced it to his right. McGrew, righty shot, and it goes wide as Miska extended his right pad out. Now Tahoe feeds it out in front, and it goes wide of the mark, and McGrew would have spotted it. He could have made it 1-0. McGrew gets hit along the boards. Puck slides towards Miska, who covers up, and we get a whistle with 17:58 left in the first. Luke Adam and Boilar stare each other down. Andrew Noel has been a physical, spirited presence to the Grizzlies here over the last couple weeks. Noel came in to the Grizzlies from a trade with the Cincinnati Cyclones last week for the rights to Christian Felton. Noel will face his former team next week. Grizzlies will be in Cincinnati for a 2-game set next Saturday and Sunday. 2:02 into the game. Still no score. Tahoe's taken one shot. As John Gillette will take the drives out there with Yaroslav Yevdokimov and Mikey Colella. Colella drops it for Dylan Gratton, who gets it ahead. Puck to center ice. Yevdokimov lays it for Gillette, who skates along the right wing. He'll fire lefty shot. Stick save by Paperny. Puck goes back towards Gillette, who curls one around as Night Monsters get off the boards, but overskate it. Yevdokimov around Tahoe's net. I try to feed it out in front. Nobody was home. Night Monsters come back the other way as they ice the puck. Salem strides after it, and the whistle blows with 17:28 left in the first. So you've seen a few icing calls already, at least 3 on the Night Monsters side. The Grizzlies once again will switch up skaters, and Reed Lebster's out there with Tyler Gratton and Evan Friesen. That's been a very productive forward line in the month of February. Friesen has 11 points in 11 games in the month, 6 goals and 5 assists. Reed Lebster has 13 goals in February, 6 goals and 7 assists. And Tyler Gratton has 17 points in his last 17 games. Off the draw, Gratton will take a lefty shot that's blocked. Gratton dances around as he collides sticks with Eric Olson. as Grizzlies get it up top. Salem right wing. That chance, Bukado, a fire lefty shot, and it's blocked as AHB's out there with Colby Ends. Tahoe falls down, puck off a skate, as the Night Monsters get it near the Grizzlies bench, and they'll sweep it in as they make a full line change. We played about 3 minutes. Both teams have one shot, still no score. Tahoe scored first in each of the 2 games in this series. Friesen skates in, drops it for Lepster. He'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked. Lepster towards the right wing wall, tries to split a double team, and the puck brushes back towards a far point. Grizzlies get it back, and Friesen will float it forward as the puck will slide towards Paperny, who cuts it off the near goal line. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Salem and Dylan Gratton are out there as the forward line of Lepster, Manning, and Shea. Now Lepster's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Timofeyev. Manning loses control of the puck as he was skating into the offensive zone. Ball enters from the right wing for Tahoe as he'll skate towards the circle on the back check. Neil Shea took it away. Good job by Shea as the puck goes towards Manning. As he gets the puck, skates towards his left, crosses center ice, whips it around the boards. Barbashev has a bounce off his stick. Night Monsters come back the other way as Poliani overled it for Kevin Wall, as Poliani just didn't get much on a pass, and it goes all the way down for a Night Monsters icing. So that's at least 4 icings on Tahoe here in the first 4 minutes of play. Last game in February, and you can't underestimate the importance of the 2 standings points here tonight. Tahoe right now is in 4th place in the Mountain Division. And of course, the top 4 teams in each division reach the playoffs. Night Monsters have 59 standings points and a record of 27-21, 2-3. Grizzlies are 20-26-7. They have 47 standings points. So big one in the standings for the Grizzlies to try to stay within striking range heading into the month of March. Grizzlies get the puck as Barbashev dances around. He skates towards the right point, gets it to Salem, who skates down the middle of the ice. He'll chip it to Gratton left wing. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Dylan Gratton earlier this season played at the University of Vermont, and before that played at the University of Nebraska Omaha as well as Penn State, where he was a teammate with his older brother Tyler for 1 year in the 2022-23 season. Danny Geneva was also on that club. As the Night Monsters loop it ahead, Grizzlies moving back towards center ice. Connors gets around Swick. Now Connors over the offensive line, tries to get around Maye. Backhands one out in front. Nobody was home as it looked more of a pass than a shot. Jay skates towards left corner and make that Andrew Noel. And on the back check, Trent Swick took it away. Out to the right wing to Gustafson, who gets around Geneva. Gustafson centers it out in front, but it goes wide of the mark as he tried to find a cutting Connor Merritt, who was skating towards Miska. Geneva over the offensive line, gets towards left point. Noel with a one-timer, saved by Paperny. That was a blast by Noel, who's been impressive here in 4 games with Utah. Night Monsters around their own net. They'll tap it off the glass. The puck will wobble high into the air. Merritt gets it across. Noel gets a stick in the way. Puck will brush towards Miska. Bounces off a Noel's stick, and Miska covers up in the crease as play stops with 14:48 left in the first. Grizzlies up to 2 shots. Tahoe's taken 1. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. Thanks for choosing the Grizzlies here on this Saturday night. Game 54 of 72 for both the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. So I guess you can say after tonight we will be 75% through the Grizzlies' final hunt, at least the regular season portion of it. And Utah's obviously hoping to put together a hot month of March to put themselves in a position in the month of April to battle for a playoff spot. High slot, Kalen Taylor with a shot, and it goes wide as Tahoe won the faceoff. Night Monsters had a slight edge in the faceoff circle in last night's game. John Gillette gets the puck, the first-year pro at a holy cross. Crosses center ice, skates down the middle, high slot, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. He's ricocheted off his right pad. As the Night Monsters will rainbow it to center ice. Now to the right wing for McGrew, gets it off the boards. McGrew wearing number 15. He'll tattoo it off the wall as Michael Leary brushed it around, ends off his stick to the far corner. McGrew gets it back in deeper as Anson Mukata plays the puck. AHB, the first-year pro out of RIT in Ohio State. He's got 30 assists to lead all Grizzly defensemen. Anson Mukata behind Miska's net as the Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Long-range feed angle left off the Lepster stick onto Gratton. Tyler, that is, as both Grattons are on the ice here at the same time. As Salem gets over towards Dylan Gratton near circle of the Grizzly zone, trying to get to his brother. It's picked off by Valerian. Now taking the puck to the right wing is Stewart over towards Darflinger. One-timer misses wide. Now left wing, lefty shot, blocker saved by Miska. Salem pushed it ahead, but Stewart keeps it in for Tahoe. Keenan Stewart Has 1 goal in 7 games in this league. Valerian right wing. His shot's blocked as Salem regathers his stick. Valerian fires towards the net. Glove saved by Miska as he holds on. Boy, Hunter Miska's been sharp here so far. 13:23 left in the first. Still no score. As the Grizzlies, as both teams have 3 shots. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
"13 minutes, 23 seconds left in the first period. Still no score. Both teams have 3 shots. We've been skating 5-on-5 this entire time. As the crowd's still filing in here. As draws over in the right circle. Evan Friesen will take the draw against Evan Poliani. Poliani has had quite the year for the Night Monsters. 23 goals. Tahoe, a high-powered offensive club. They lead the league in goals per game at 3.62. Kevin Wall gets double-teamed as he's sandwiched between Tyler Granton and Colby Enns. The Grizzlies will wobble the puck deep into the Night Monster zone. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from section 114. A head off a Hanson Bucata stick as it goes back towards Samuel Maie. And it's pushed in by the Night Monsters as Miska around his net. Will wobble the puck kind of awkwardly along the near wall. Webster accepts that he leads Utah with 28 goals. Over to Friesen in the left wing. Friesen didn't have a shooting angle, so he fires it off of Tahoe's backboard. Puck slides towards a corner. Friesen gets the loose puck. He'll get up top towards Tyler Granton, who fires lefty shot, kick saved by Paperny off his right pad. As Algier collides with Granton, Tyler that is, as Colby Enns has the puck. Addition to Tyler Gratton's jersey this week, as they put his first initial, T. Gratton, along with D. Gratton, Dylan Gratton, as they're the second pair of brothers on the Grizzlies. The Gillettes have been here for the last couple months. Mike Gillette is a scratch for the Grizzlies tonight. And the Night Monsters are offside as the Grizzlies with a good poke check at the Utah line. So faceoff's going to come back to neutral ice as there's 12 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first. Jordan Paperny, the Tahoe goaltender. He has spent parts of 3 different seasons with the Henderson Silver Knights. Has appeared in a Henderson uniform but hasn't played in any games with the Silver Knights this season. Also has experience in this league with Florida, Fort Wayne, and Savannah. And this is his second year with the Night Monsters. So draw at neutral ice. Luke Manning will take it against Trent Swick. As draw won by the Grizzlies is Andrew Noel. He's in the near circle of the Grizzlies zone. And he will loop it ahead. Puck got Smear under it. Luke Manning plays it on the back checks the Night Monster. Kalen Taylor's all over him like a cheap suit, or the only cheap suits I can afford. Waller at center ice. He'll get it in. Puck ricochets off the top of the glass and goes out of play. As after the whistle, a little bit of pushing between Kalen Taylor and Luke Manning as they were going after it quite a bit during the course of play. So let's see where the faceoff's going to be. I think it's going to be back in neutral ice. The two Boilar got in a fight last night in the second period, and he certainly built confidence as he's gotten some consistent playing time over about the last month. So it's going to be a center ice faceoff as Luke Manning will take it against Jordan Gustafson. Gustafson's got an NHL contract with the Vegas Golden Knights. Gustafson was selected in the 3rd round, 79th overall by Vegas back in 2022. As Grizzlies get to center ice or near it, but don't cross as they dump it in for an icing with 11:57 left in the first. 9th meeting between the clubs, and you can see the chess match between both teams. Tahoe really, after giving up 8 goals on Wednesday, played a very disciplined defensive style of hockey, and their defensemen have done a good job kind of staying back in their own zone and not allowing the Grizzlies and their high-powered, high-speedy offense to get those odd man breaks like they were able to get on Wednesday and like the Grizzlies were able to get in the 3-game series in Tahoe in early February. Grizzlies win the draw in their own zone. Noel around his net, over towards Nil Shea off his stick. As the Night Monsters, Trent Swick enters. He's nearby Manning with a good poke check. Well, I thought the puck went back towards Neutrice, but Tahoe apparently was able to keep it in. As Merritt collides with Noel. Now Noel collides with Gustafson. Noel loses the stick. He gets it back. Grizzlies race down the ice. 3-on-2. Barbashev over the offensive line. Skates towards the right side. Accelerates around Šolić. Centering pass out in front. Goes past Shea towards the near wing. As Barbashev back towards the left wing. Dances around. Gets up top. Poilar. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Paperny. And the Tahoe goaltender will hold on. 11:21 left in the first period. And the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. As Utah gets the defensive pairing of Luke Salem and Dylan Gratton on the ice. Boy, Salem's played good hockey over the last month. It's his second full season as a pro. Split last year with Indy and Kalamazoo. Connors will take the face-off. He's in his first full season as a professional. Ended last season with a pretty good run with the Grizzlies. As Timofeyev's to his left and Genev to his right. Off the draw, Timofeyev swings and misses. He loses his glove and picks it back up and puts it back on. As Night Monsters deep in their own zone. As we played about 9 minutes, the whistle has been the dominating factor here so far. We've heard that about as much as anything of note. Timofeyev over to Dylan Gratton. He's over in the far corner. He tried to get it ahead, but it was overled for Timofeyev, who couldn't reach it. Tahoe, Adams centering pass to McGrew. McGrew didn't have much of a shooting angle, so he throws it back up top. Valerian right wing. His shot's blocked by Salem. Salem sporting a mustache ahead to Genev. Danny Genev, the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award, over to Dylan Gratton, who drops it back to Genev, right wing. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. As Genev got hit on the follow-through of the shot by Jake McGrew. As Night Monsters cross center ice, Michael Leary will bounce it in as the Night Monsters make a full line change. Grizzlies switch up skaters as well. Salem stays on the ice. He'll come off shortly. Pass to center ice picked off, and Tahoe will backhand it in. Salem gets it off the end boards. Arm is raised by the linesman. And it appears to be an offside for Tahoe as there's 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first. As draw is going to come back to neutral ice just outside the Utah line near dots. Both teams know the strengths and weaknesses of the other pretty well, and so you're not confusing anybody. So in a game like this, both teams are just going to try to go north-south and do what they can. But both teams seem to be locked in defensively so far. And really, for both clubs, they know the importance of the first goal. As Tahoe gets the puck, Derflinger taps it off the glass. Stewart will backhand it in. As Miska drops for Boilar, he'll slide it towards the far corner for Mikey Colella. Colella dangles back and forth, crosses center ice, and he'll chip it in. He's got good speed. Puck hit the glass inside the Tahoe bench, so the whistle blows with 10:06 left in the first. This game is lacking a little bit of a flow as the whistle has been the dominating factor so far. You know, he mentioned the importance of scoring the first goal, and you probably know it watching hockey. Just about every year, the team that scores first in any pro league wins 70 to 75% of the time. For the Grizzlies, when they score first, they have a record of 15-9-3. And when the opposition scores first, the Grizzlies have a record of 5-17-4. Tahoe has scored first in each of the 2 games so far in this series. Rubber match of a 3-game set. Tahoe gets it out to center ice. They try to get towards Eric Olson. He gets knocked down. Olson, a former Knoxville Ice Bear of the SBHL. Andrew Noel towards the near wing. Outlets to center ice off the boards. So you have Donkimov. He drops it for John Gillette. Gillette trying to crowd the bouncing puck as he's skating towards the left corner. He gets to worsen the puck from Samuel Maye. Down to the left wing. As Colella, he'll take a lefty shot and a stick save by Paperny. And the puck flies out of play. But Grizzlies were able to get a scoring chance with Colella on the left wing, but Paperny made his 6th save. As good pass by John Gillette finding Colella. That was a pretty productive forward line on Wednesday. The line of Gillette, Yevdokimov, and Colella. As Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw as Reed Lepster will take it. Actually, Frieson's going to take it. Lepster's going to be on the left wing. Gratton on the right side. Up top is Hanson Bukata and Colby Enns. Utah's outshot Tahoe 6-3 as there's 9:39 left in the first period. Still no score, and neither team's committed a penalty as of yet. Tahoe will just bounce it deep into the Grizzlies zone as Hanson Buchanan plays it. He'll skate towards his left and get it to Gratton and neutralize. Gratton bounced it ahead. Are we going to get another whistle? You bet. Icing on Utah with 9:24 left in the first. Of the 11 games the Grizzlies have played in the month of February, 5 times they have scored 5 or more goals. Boy, the Grizzlies have had a pretty high-powered month of February. They had a 9-goal game on February 4th against Tahoe. This past Wednesday, scored 8 goals in an 8-3 victory. They had 7 goals on February 6th, where they won 7-4. Utah scored 5 goals in a 4-minute and 11 stretch late in the third period. Grizzlies also scored 6 goals on February 10th at home against the Idaho Steelheads. Grizzlies have 10 games this season where they have scored 6 or more goals. Oddly enough, in that February 10th game, 6 goals wasn't enough, as Idaho got a 7-6 overtime victory. Happy birthday, Nelly. As a lot of Nelly's friends are here in attendance, we got an outstanding Saturday night crowd. Tahoe's got the puck standing, fires it out in front. It goes wide. It looked like he was looking for Kevin Wall to redirect it. Freezing ahead to Tyler Gratton, who crosses center ice. Gratton dangling back and forth, and he'll chip it in as the puck goes towards the corner, and the puck takes a ride around the boards. Stanek gets it in the near corner. He's still in his own zone. Backhands on skate. Night Monster will bouncing off a Hanson Buchanan's shoulder as the puck goes towards Colby in his own zone, and Stanek gets a loose puck. Stanek cycles it around, but it's immediately cut off by Ends. Across to Lebster, as Lebster accelerates around Gustafson. Lebster is 10th in the league in points with 49 this season, as he'll dump it in and chase after it. He had to get around Valerian, so Michael Leary plays it across to Valerian at center ice. He one-hands it ahead to Merritt. Merritt flies it in. It stays in play along the near corner of the Grizzlies zone. Utah skates from right to left here in the period. Lebster dancing back and forth. Gets to Salem. Ahead to Tyler Gratton, who gets cut off by Valerian, who's a very strong defenseman, 6'2", 212 pounds. Valerian backhands it in his own zone as Night Monsters rink wide feed angle right, goes tape to Gustafson. He tried to get it to Zwick, who just got a partial stick in the way as Grizzlies come out with it. As Barbashev races across center ice, a second-year pro. He played with Bloomington last year and a little bit of Hartford. He fires towards the net and hits the outside of the cage near side. Tahoe comes back up with it. Luke Adam, the 35-year-old vet, as he'll tap it off a stick. Puck will slide towards Miscu, covers up in the crease, and that stops play with 7 minutes and 51 seconds left in the first. Not a whole lot of shots here early on. Both teams in the first 2 games averaged pretty close to what they normally get in shots per game. Grizzlies average 31.9 shots per game, and they allow 31.5. So Grizzlies, most of the time, they're pretty even in the shot category. Tahoe takes 32.6 shots per game, but they allow 37.5. Night Monsters win the draw. Left point. Lefty shot saved by Miska off his left pad. And the Grizzlies will throw a cross-country flight that bounces deep in the Night Monsters zone. Tahoe clears it back to center ice. Mikey Colella gets the puck. He'll slide it across to Noah. Actually, it was Luke Manning, number 16. Shea to Manning to the middle of the ice. Gets over the line. Skates towards the right corner as he avoids Alger. Alger stuck his leg in the way and cut off Manning's pursuit. Now Manning skates towards the near goal line. Manning with a lefty shot and didn't get much on it. Manning trying to get it back to Barbashev, who gets a stick lifted by O'Leary. Now Shea left wing lefty shot saved by Paperny off his chest. Rebound goes to Michael Leary. He'll get it ahead to Luke Adam, who's still deep in the Night Monsters zone, as the Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Shea stays on the ice, but he'll come off shortly as Timofeyev, Connors, and Genev are out there for Utah. Less than 7 minutes left in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 7-4. Utah off the boards towards Timofeyev, who dances, accelerates in the left point, lays it for Genev. Genev tried to find Connors out in front. Pass went just wide of the mark. As Derflinger skates down the middle one-on-one. And great poke check by Dylan Gratton. Derflinger regathers it. Left wing, his shot's blocked by Timofeyev up high. Timo dances back and forth. He's a +5 on the month. He leads the Grizzlies with a +5 rating. As Connors gets hit near the Tahoe bench, he'll come out for a change. Artur Cholach, he gets taken off the puck by a Grizzly. As Gillette ahead towards center ice, Timofeyev, left wing, he fires right. He shot saved by Paperny. As Paperny just kind of corralled the puck around his chest. He holds on with 6:13 left in the first. As a big hit delivered by Dylan Gratton. As they show a replay, Timofeyev blocked the shot up high. Timo Fey has certainly been a strong addition to the Grizzlies this season. 8 goals and 17 assists in 35 games. And he's been one of Utah's best plus-minus forwards all season. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies in the left circle. John Gillette will take it. He's out there with the Avdakamov and Mikey Colella. As John Gillette, he'll crouch down and take the draw. He's appeared in every game this season. Always been a strong two-way performer for Utah. For my money, probably leads the Grizzlies in blocked shots. Hanson Bukanda left point. He fires lefty shot. That's wide. Now Colby Enns fires towards the net. Saved by Paperny. As Enns was towards the right wing boards, fired a prayer to the net. And Paperny, he's made every save so far. The Tahoe goaltender's done a great job not allowing rebounds and second chances. So it's going to be another offensive zone draw, this time from the right circle. As the fans are having a good time. This is one of the biggest home crowds the Grizzlies have had all season. As John Gillette will take the draw once again. Just about every section's filled up pretty nicely, except for maybe the end that Tahoe's defending here in the first and third periods. As Gillette crouches down, this time the draw is won by Devin Poliani. Night Monsters have a ton of offensive firepower as Tahoe flies it deep into the Grizzly zone and goes all the way down. And once again, we get icing. Well, it seems like the goaltending, the defensive units, and the whistles have been the most notable things about this first period. There's now 5 minutes and 59 seconds left in the first period. 13 NHL games will go over during the first and second intermissions. Utah Mammoth are not in action. The Colorado Avalanche, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, is in action as they take on the Chicago Blackhawks. I believe that game has gone final, and we'll go over that score. Chicago Blackhawks, incidentally enough, will be here in the Salt Lake Valley tomorrow afternoon. 2 o'clock face-off against Utah Mammoth. As Night Monsters win the draw, they'll bank it off the boards. And Kevin Wall throws it in. Colella with good speed skates around Miska's net. Drops it off, but Tahoe takes it away. Now the Night Monsters trying to get up top, and nobody was hanging out in the high slot. So the Grizzlies fit in a full line change. Night Monsters long-range feed, angle right towards Wall. He'll drop it off as skating towards right circle. Stanek, a fire lefty shot, hits the far post. And it's still a scoreless game. Boy, Stanek's the guy you got to watch out for every time he's on the ice. He's got a lethal shot. Stanek gets the puck, gets around one Grizzly, fires lefty low liner, saved by Miska. And he holds on. And after the whistle, Noel getting after with Stanek. Now another Night Monster will push Noel. And looks like an episode of the Jerry Springer Show is breaking out here at Maverick Center as Andrew Noel getting after with just about everybody that's on the Tahoe ice. 5:21 left in the first period. There's a timeout. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 9-5. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
5 minutes and 21 seconds are left in the first period. You can bid on those game-worn specialty jerseys that the Grizzlies not only are wearing tonight, but they wore last night as well. You can get a Riley Connors jersey, maybe Tyler Gratton. I don't know, Maxime Barbashev would certainly be fun to have. And remember, if you get the Tyler Gratton jersey, you get the Captain C to go along with it. Neil Shea and Luke Manning would be great options. Just about anybody. Hunter Miska, if you like goaltenders, and he's about as good as it gets. Go to the Dash Auction app, and you can bid on those one-of-a-kind Grizzlies specialty jerseys. As Tahoe wins the neutral zone draw, they fire it in, as there's still no score. Hunter Miska has been strong here so far, not only in the first period, but he looked outstanding in warm-ups, and he looks like he's in mid-season form, even though he didn't play professionally this season. until a week ago. It spent last year part of the season with the Bridgeport Islanders of the AHL and the KHL's Moscow club. Big time collision as up high Evan Friesen got hit. He collides with Algier. Friesen's slow to get up. And now some pushing and shoving towards Tyler Gratton, who's getting after it with a night monster. And as the captain, you know that Gratton's going to go after Algier, and you bet that's what a good team leader would do. Friesen and Algier, they just lit each other up near the Tahoe bench as Friesen was skating towards the Tahoe zone. Friesen got hit up high. Both guys were tumbling around. Algier got up first. Friesen a little bit slow to get up. And then play stopped as I believe Gratton was going to confront Lyndon Algier. No penalties either way. Well, maybe there is one as Algier skating towards the penalty box. As Friesen tried to get a loose puck, and Algier and Friesen collided. I think for Algier, if he was maybe more going after the loose puck instead of thinking about a hit, it's possible that Algier would have gotten away with it. So Algier gets 2 minutes for an illegal check to the head, I believe. So he's going to go to the box. It's one of those when you saw the replay, didn't look nearly as bad as it looked live. Obviously with Friesen kind of tumbling around. So for the Grizzlies, they're 18 for 57 on the power play over the last 17 games. They were 1 for 3 last night. Head contact, illegal check to the head. Lyndon Algier going to the box. And that's one of those, both guys were going after a loose puck, but for Algier, he's the one that gets the penalty. And as Tahoe wins the draw, they throw it up and not out. Salem over towards Luke Manning. He'll chip it to the right corner as Neil Shea gets the puck. He's got 4 power play goals this season. Over to Manning around Tahoe's net. Over to the left circle for Barbashev up top to Salem. Lefty shot, and that's blocked. And the puck slides towards the left point. Salem trying to keep it in, and it's knifed off of Trent Swick as it goes back into the Grizzlies zone. Salem has Swick on the back check now. Salem accelerates past Swick. Salem crosses center ice, veers off to the left. Salem over the offensive line, skates towards the left corner. He'll wrap the puck around the boards. Riley Connors accepts it. He'll cycle it back around. Valerian around the wall to Manning off into the middle of the ice. Now Salem up top. He'll skate towards his left. He'll direct it to his right. As Shea skates towards the right circle. Lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. Rebound goes towards the left wing wall as Manning throws it up top. Connors gets it. He'll skate towards his right. Now Connors in the high slot. Now he'll skate around Tahoe's net. Connors an outstanding skater. The Yale and St. Lawrence product. He'll fire it off the skate of O'Leary, taking this Valerian. And Valerian will skip it all the way to Hunter Miska, who collects it in front of the crease. Both teams will change up skaters. Less than 50 seconds left in Utah's first power play of the game. Still no score. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 10-5. Hanson Buchanan drops it off for Lebster, has 6 goals and 7 assists on the power play this season. Lebster down the middle. He'll backhand it to Gratton. Right side. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Gratton leads the Grizzlies with 9 power play goals on the season. Hanson Buchanan in the near wing gets it. 25 seconds left in the power play. Genev, he has 18 power play points, 2 goals and 16 assists this year. Friesen, he collides with Taylor. Taylor, the former Clarkson captain. As Friesen, the first-year pro from the Wenatchee Wild, spent a little bit of time last year with the Grizzlies. Across to Genev, right side. He'll get it back towards the captain, Tyler Gratton. Now Genev over towards Lebster. He's at the right goal line. He dances back and forth. He'll backhand it towards Genev, but it goes past him out to neutral ice. Algier's out of the box. Unsuccessful power play for the Grizzlies. Genev centers it to Friesen, lefty shot. And that one goes off of Paperny and out of play. 2:41 left in the first. And there's still no score. As a fan wearing a Blake Wells jersey comes away with a puck. Blake Wells, a current member of the Tahoe Night Monsters. He's currently on the injured list. He has appeared in 22 games this season. And as the drop goes in the left circle, Wells didn't play that many games for the Grizzlies. That had to have been just about the only jersey Blake Wells wore, as Wells played in 3 games for Utah during the 2023-24 season and 1 game last season before suffering a season-ending injury. As the puck slides towards the left corner, action deep in the Tahoe zone. They skate from left to right here in the period. 2.5 minutes left in the first. Still looking for the game's first goal. Are we going to get another icing? You bet we are, as they overlet a pass for Luke Adam. The passing hasn't necessarily been crisp on either side. I think you can probably attribute part of that to the defensive pressure and the active sticks that both clubs are displaying here in the first period. Looks like Jackson Hibbert on the Tahoe bench talking with, I believe, their assistant coach. Jackson Hibbert, the former Grizzlies head equipment manager. And it's great to see him this week. Tahoe's a pretty well-led team by Alex Lowe. He's done an outstanding job with the Night Monsters. Before joining Tahoe, prior to last season, Alex Lowe coached the Adirondack Thunder, and he also spent some time as both an assistant coach as well as an interim head coach over a 2-year stretch with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. He was the head coach of Adirondack for a 4-season stretch from 2018 through 2022. Grizzlies won the draw. They're in the offensive zone. Noel skates around Tahoe's net. Wraparound shot saved by Paperny as McGrew will clear it back to center ice off the boards. It's taken back by Andrew Noel as he'll fire it past John Gillette. And the Night Monsters will skate airborne as the puck will twirl in the air as you have Donkamov. He'll bounce it in as Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Noel's had a good first period. He comes off the ice as Salem and Dylan Gratton are on the ice. That's the 2 defensemen as Tahoe pitchforks it in deep. Miska lets it go towards the backboards. The glass goes swaying behind Miska's net. As taking the puck is Luke Manning. He's played a ton of minutes here in the first period. Manning accelerates around Swick, steps over the offensive line, curls it to Barbashev, siren pass to Dylan Gratton. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Boy, Dylan Gratton looking for his first pro goal, and he didn't miss by much. Salem right side, his shot's blocked as Tahoe comes back the other way as they drag the puck out to center ice. Gustafson backhands it in. Salem looks over both shoulders. He gets double teamed by Tahoe. Dylan Gratton joins the play. He holds up a Night Monster. Salem trying to yank the puck away, and he'll tap it towards Shea. Neil Shea strides along the left wing towards center ice. No wobble it in. Puck wobbles on its side like a tire towards Paperny. He keeps the play alive as Algier gets to the far side. Grizzlies back defensively. Tahoe crosses center ice. Stanek around ends. Stanek fires lefty shot blocker saved by Miska. But an outstanding athlete, Sloan Stanek. Thank you, Mark. 1 minute left in the first period. As Tahoe, Kevin Wall, he fires righty shot, kick save off the right pad to Miska. Now Tahoe around Utah's net. As Cholach stops and shadowing him. As Enns pushes Cholach along the boards, Kevin Wall skates towards the puck along with Connors. They get there about the same time as Dylan Gratton gets the puck out of the corner. Grizzlies will fly it towards the Grizzlies bench. Puck hops off the ice and off the boards as the Night Monsters re-enter. Stanek, he looks like he's an AHL player. I'm not sure entirely why he's in this league unless Henderson's just loaded with skilled forwards. As Dylan Gratton make that hands to Buchanan left wing. Fires lefty shot saved by Paperny. Now starting pass to Connors. Righty shot goes wide. The Grizzlies trying to get it back to Connors out in front. He was occupied by Wall. Is Tahoe going to ice the puck once again? Yeah, you bet. Luke Adam fired it off the far glass and all the way down for a Night Monsters icing as there's now 8.1 seconds. That's the time remaining in this first period. Grizzlies are up to 13 shots. Tahoe's taken 7. As both goaltenders have been outstanding and both clubs have put together a really good defensive effort. As both clubs looking for the first goal of the game. I imagine against solid goaltending like we have on both sides tonight, you're going to have to get some traffic out in front. You're going to have to screen the goaltender and maybe get some redirections of some kind. That may be how you're going to score against either goalie, because it seems like for Miska and for Paperny, if they can see the puck, they're going to stop it here tonight. So Grizzlies will have Riley Connors out there with Genevieve and Boilar. Looks like the Grizzlies are going with a 3 defenseman set. There's 8 seconds left in the period. And it does look like there's 3 defensemen on the ice. Actually, Timofeyev is up top and Boilar is down low. So there is 3 forwards and 2 D, but Boilar down a little bit low. He's one of the strongest Grizzlies. Tahoe wins the faceoff and they'll loop it ahead. Puck will hippity hop deep in the Grizzlies zone. And just for good old time's sakes, let's have one more icing on Tahoe here to end the first period. I don't know what the team record for icings by Tahoe in a single period, but they're pretty close to a team record. It's an unofficial record, but who knows how many times Tahoe has iced the puck, but it's been quite a bit. Miska is going to come off as there's an even 1 second left in the period. Ryan Anderson wanted Miska to come off for an extra attacker, but they wouldn't let him. A 6th player for the Grizzlies had already come on the ice, and Timofeyev is going to have to exit. Remember on Teddy Bear Toss night, we saw a scenario with 1 second left where a draw was won cleanly and Reed Webster was able to score. That was in the second period against Atlanta. So it is possible if Connors wins it cleanly onto a Grizzly stick. As Connors wins it cleanly, but it goes off 2 sticks. Jania fires towards the net wide, and that will do it for 20 minutes here at Maverick Center. And it was a period that was dominated by goaltending, defense, Tahoe icings, and whistles. There was one power play that the Grizzlies had late in the first period, but Tahoe thwarted that. So Utah's 0 for 1 on the power play. And quite frankly, we saw a good brand of hockey on both sides here in the first period. So it feels like the Grizzlies, if they're going to get the 2 standings points, they're going to have to earn it against a tough goaltender in Jordan Paperny. And since it's the 9th meeting this season between the clubs and it's the 6th game here against each other in the month of February, both teams know the strengths and weaknesses of the other pretty well. And so it seems like nobody's out of place. Everybody's right where they need to be defensively. If you liked hockey, this was a very good first 20 minutes of play, despite the fact there wasn't a goal. Both teams, both goaltenders put together a pretty good showcase during the first 20 minutes of play. We'll come back and talk some hockey. Obviously, there wasn't a whole lot of stats to talk about. We'll also go over some scores from around the league the Grizzlies playing, as well as the 13 NHL games. So we're going to have some fun here during the first intermission, as there's still no score between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. We're still looking for the game's first goal. We're going to have some fun here during the first intermission, as you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
After one period here at Maverick Center, we're still looking for the game's first goal. Utah outshot Tahoe 14-7 in the first period as the Grizzlies had plenty of good scoring chances. But really the first 20 minutes was showcased by outstanding goaltending by Tahoe's Jordan Paperny and the Grizzlies' Hunter Miska. Miska was particularly sharp in warm-ups, and he carried it on to a pretty good first period. In terms of shots, Neil Shea led Utah with 3. John Gillette and Andrew Noel each had 2 shots, and you have to be impressed with Andrew Noel and the energy and spirit he's displayed. And this is 5th game as a Grizzly, and really since the start of last weekend in Allen, where Utah picked up 3 out of a possible 4 standings points. Noel has been just what the Grizzlies needed in terms of adding some depth to a defensive unit that's seen quite a few injuries. 1 shot each for Enns, Timofeyev, Riley Connors, as well as AHB. Boilar, Tyler Gratton, and Mikey Colella each had 1 shot. There was 1 penalty in the first period. Lyndon Alger got an illegal check to the head, 15-10, and that was the big collision with Evan Friesen at neutral ice near the Tahoe bench. Grizzlies had 1 power play shot during that 2-minute stretch where they had the power play late in the first period. For the Night Monsters and their shot counts, can we get Sloan Stanek in the American Hockey League? He looks like he plays at a different speed. His shot is just a little bit harder than everybody else. Sloan Stanek is one of a kind. He gave the Grizzlies all sorts of fits last year. He had 29 goals in 70 games. He's got 16 goals in 31 games this season. He's also got 4 goals in 12 American Hockey League games. So not only has he been productive with Tahoe, but he's been productive in the American Hockey League when he's had his chance with Henderson. Unless the Henderson Silver Knights are just loaded with good forwards, Sloan Stanek should be playing for them. He's an outstanding player. And he led Tahoe with 2 first-period shots. If you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the first-period stats. Grizzlies had 6 scoring chances in their 14 shots. Tahoe, 2 scoring chances in their 7 shots. Face-off battle was won by the Grizzlies 14-12. Utah had 8 hits. Tahoe had 5. As play was pretty physical at spurts in the first period. Grizzlies had 6 giveaways, and Tahoe had 3 in the first period. And with it being the 9th meeting between the clubs this season, there's a ton of familiarity between the 2 clubs. They know the strengths and weaknesses of each other very well. And so with that in mind, both teams played a pretty disciplined first period. And I think we saw the kind of first period that you see when teams are ultra familiar with each other, as that chess match continues between both coaches. And I think both coaches know the importance of staying out of the penalty box, because Tahoe's got the second best power play in the league, and the Grizzlies have been rolling on the power play as of late. At one point this season, the Grizzlies, they were towards the bottom half of the league on the power play, and at certain points they've climbed all the way into the top 5. They're currently ranked 6 on the power play this season at 41 for 185. So first 20 minutes are in the books here at Maverick Center. Let's go over the other scorers in the league, but in particular, let's check in on the Mountain Division. The Kansas City Mavericks, for the second straight night, lose at home. They lost in overtime 2-1 to Allen. Tonight, the Allen Americans get a 5-2 victory over Kansas City. That's not necessarily the best thing if you're doing a little bit of scoreboard watching, because obviously Kansas City is going to be the 1 seed in the Mountain Division regardless. So Grizzlies fans were rooting for an Allen loss, as Allen is in 3rd place. They're a couple points ahead of Tahoe for 3rd place. And Allen got goals from 5 different players. And they defeat Kansas City 5-2. That game played earlier today at Cable Dama Arena. So Kansas City, who had won 16 straight home games, they lost in overtime last night. And they fall 5-2 to the Allen Americans earlier this afternoon. Other Mountain Division action. After 2 periods, Rapid City and Tulsa are locked in a wild battle. Bakanov already has a hat trick for Tulsa, and the Rush have goals from 4 different players. They're through 2 periods, and the Rush and Oilers are tied at 4. After 1 period at Idaho Central Arena, Wichita got a goal from Jay Dickman, 5:18 in. Idaho's outshot Wichita 13-11, but it's the Wichita Thunder. They have a 1-0 lead after 1. Wichita's got a record of 22, 24, and 4. Idaho is 33, 16, and 4. Other action across the league, late 3rd period. Fort Wayne leads Wheeling 6-4, so it looks like it's going to be a victory for the Comets. Both Wheeling and Fort Wayne appear to be playoff bound. Cincinnati, who's going to be the Grizzlies' opponent next week. Grizzlies will face Cincinnati on the road on March 7th and 8th. They got 2 goals from Sikic, and Kerwin also had 2 goals for the Cyclones. They defeat Kalamazoo 4-2. We don't know a whole lot about the Cincinnati roster. We'll know a lot more about them next week. Toledo gets a 5-0 shutout victory over Bloomington. Bloomington will be the Grizzlies' next opponent on Friday night in Bloomington. That's going to be a 6 o'clock start. That's going to start the 3-game road trip for the Grizzlies. And then obviously after they play Bloomington on Fridays, when they'll face Cincinnati on Saturday and Sunday. Savannah gets a 3-1 victory over Guy Krenz and Jared Youngman's Atlanta Gladiators, as Roast had the only Atlanta goal. Savannah outshot Atlanta 47-24. As Savannah gets a 3-1 victory over the Atlanta Gladiators. In overtime, the Maestro, Keaton Mastrodonato, gets the game winner 33-35 in, as Greenville gets a 6-5 victory over the Reading Royals. Florida defeats Orlando 6-1. Former Grizzly Taryn Fizer had the 6th goal for Florida. He scored 12:37 into the second period. And as Florida had 25 shots, they scored on 6 of them. Florida 6, Orlando 1. In overtime, South Carolina defeats Jacksonville 3-2. As Wilkins had the game winner for South Carolina, 5:40 into the extra session. Iowa shuts out Indy 2-0. Norfolk gets a 4-2 victory over the Greensboro Gargoyles. Trois-Rivières defeats Adirondack 4-3. And Maine gets a 2-1 win over Worcester. That game played in the Eastern time zone. As Maine's record goes to 28-15-5-2. When we come back, we'll check in on the 13 NHL games. Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, took on Chicago. The Utah Mammoth will face Chicago tomorrow afternoon at Delta Center. We'll come back and go over those scores on the other side as we've got an outstanding Saturday night crowd. They saw a pretty good brand of hockey in the first period, despite the fact that neither team found the back of the net. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
After one period, no score here at Maverick Center between the Grizzlies and the Night Monsters. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, picked up a victory. Connor Bedard scored the first goal of the game for Chicago, 6:31 in, as he picked up a power play goal. Bedard has 25 goals this season. And then Kel McCarr took over. McCarr scored a second period goal, 19:51 in, to tie it up. McKinnon and Natchez with the assist. Gavin Brindley scored what turned out to be the game winner, 7:31 into the third period. And then McCarr added his second goal of the game with an empty netter, 18:33 in, as Chicago loses 3-1 to Colorado. The Avalanche outshot the Blackhawks 35-15. And remember, Chicago in the second game of a back-to-back will be here in the Salt Lake Valley taking on the Utah Mammoth. So the Mammoth may catch a little bit of a break with the Blackhawks in the second night of a back-to-back, and the second game, obviously, is an afternoon affair. So Chicago, a little bit of a travel from Denver to Salt Lake, and they've got an early face-off tomorrow afternoon. One other game in progress in the NHL. Early third period, Predators lead the Stars 2-1. Steven Stamkos and Michael Bunting each have a goal for Nashville. Wyatt Johnston has the lone Dallas tally. Getting underway at 8 o'clock, the Canucks are at the Seattle Kraken. Finals across the National Hockey League. On national TV, the Rangers got a 3-2 shootout victory over the Penguins. Vincent Trocheck scored the shootout game winner. Igor Shesterkin saved all three Penguin shots in the shootout. Also on national TV, the Flyers got a 3-1 victory over the Boston Bruins. Travis Konechny, Jamie Drysdale, and Sean Couturier each scored a goal for Philadelphia. I should know Drysdale, no relation to Don Drysdale. Jamie Drysdale's had a strong year for the Flyers. Sharks defeat the Oilers 5-4 in a high-scoring affair. The Sharks game winner was scored 9:27 into the third period. Devils defeat the Blues 3-1. In overtime, the Islanders get a 4-3 win over the Blue Jackets. Other scores across the National Hockey League. Senators defeat the Maple Leafs 5-2. In that Islanders Blue Jackets game, it was Holmstrom who scored the OT game winner. Canadians defeat the Capitals 6-2. Sabres over the Lightning 6-2. We'll see if Charles Edward Dastu played for Tampa. Dastu, the Grizzlies legend, who was the Defensive Player of the Year during the 2021-22 season. He broke a league playoff record for a single season with 19 goals. Dastu played in 15 minutes and 54 seconds, had 18 shifts, no points. He had 3 hits and 1 takeaway. Buffalo defeats Tampa 6-2. Carolina gets a 5-2 win over Detroit. Kings shut out the Flames 2-0. LaFerriere and Kempe each scored a goal. Anton Forsberg had a 29-save shutout. We'll come back and have second period action as we're still looking for the game's first goal. It's certainly important for the Grizzlies to get on the board first. They have 15 victories when they've scored first and only 5 when the opposition has tallied the first goal. But it's a good goaltending matchup as Hunter Miska stopped all 7 shots in the first period, and Tahoe's Jordan Paperny saved all 14 shots. Grizzlies won the scoring chance battle 6-2 in the first period. We'll come back and have second period action as we've got an outstanding Saturday night crowd. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're having a good time here at Maverick Center as it's the second half of Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by U of U Health. And it was really a first period dominated by goaltending, defensive play, icings by Tahoe. Grizzlies had a few icings of their own right. Quite a few whistles. There was only one penalty, and that was Tahoe 15-10 into the first as Lyndon Algier got an illegal check to the head of Evan Friesen. Grizzlies had one shot on that power play. As Danny Genev had some good looks, centered it to Friesen if you're watching on the highlights. And really, it's one of those where I think because of the familiarity both teams have with each other, it's the 6th head-to-head meeting here in the month of February. Both teams are really locked in as to the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition. To start the second period, the Grizzlies will have a forward line of Neil Shea, Luke Manning, and Maxim Barbashev, and a defensive pairing of Dylan Gratton and Luke Salem, the same 5 that started the game for Utah. For Tahoe to start the second period, it's going to be Devin Pugliani with Sloan Stanek and Kevin Wall, a defensive pairing of Lyndon Algier and Samuel Maye. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Puck is dropped and we're underway. Tahoe wins the faceoff. We've got an outstanding Saturday night crowd, one of the biggest crowds of the season. Algier tried to lead it ahead to Stanek. No whistle, no icing. Stanek got a piece of it at neutral ice. Fresh sheet of ice, and both teams kind of walking on eggshells for a couple seconds as the ice is yet to really settle in. Grizzlies at center ice slide it to Salem. He skates down the middle, gets it towards Barbashev, but the whistle blows, and the Grizzlies are offside as we get our first whistle 26 seconds into the second period. So Draw's going to be near the Grizzlies bench where John Buchanan's got his arms folded. Assistant coach Ryan Anderson looking on. And for the Grizzlies, it's been a pretty productive offensive month of February. 12th and final game of the month. Utah's 5-3-3 in February, where they have a standing point in 8 of 11 games. For the Night Monsters, it's their 12th and final game in February. They are 5-5-0-1 on the month. So a winning month is on the line for the Night Monsters. They win the face-off. As we're still looking for the game's first goal, Taylor left wings to Gustafson, who gets it off the boards. It's brushed away by Miska as Taylor over in the left corner make that Gustafson. Skates towards a point as he's got Salem hanging all over him as Merritt feeds it up top. Taylor gets in the right point. He'll cycle it around as loose puck towards the left wing. As Swick showcasing his 6'6" frame as he shields Gratton from the puck. Shot from the left wing, kicks off the Miska. Grizzlies will float it forward to Luke Manning. As the two Lukes are on the ice, Salem and Manning. And Manning will pitchfork it in. We're going to have some fun with Manning and Salem on Star Wars night, aren't we? As Trent Swick slides out towards center ice. We're not going to call either of them Skywalker. As O'Leary skates down the left wing, he steps over the offensive blue. Not that I know anything about Star Wars. I've just been to a lot of Star Wars nights. Adam off his stick in the right corner. Handsome Yukata gets head towards Kolbienz, who sidesteps a check. Ends across the center ice. You got Adam on the back check. Gets to Connors over the line. Timo Fayette right wing. He fires towards the net, and it's blocked by the skate of Artur Cholach. Adam backhands it, angle left. O'Leary plays soccer, kicking it ahead to Handsome Yukata. As AHB's in the middle of the ice, he'll slide it towards Timo Fayette to Genev, who steps over the offensive line onside. Genev fires lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. Boy, Paperny had to be quick with that one. Genev fired a low liner. And you talk about the quick release of Danny Genev. We've seen quick shot releases by Evan Friesen, but Genev just in one quick motion. Just a quick wrist shot. It got on Paperny in a hurry. Genev came into play leading the league in shots on goal with 219. He thought he was going to sneak one past Paperny, but the Tahoe goaltender had to be quick to make the stop. We're still scoreless, 6:18, 13's left in the second period. Grizzlies are up to 15 shots. Tahoe's taken 7. So Utah's Danny Genev took the first shot of the second period on either club. Lindbergh bends his first name, gets towards right wing. Lindbergh in his second game with Tahoe wearing number 40. Got in a fight with Blalour in the second period last night. Puck along the near wing, and it's taken by Mikey Colella. He's got great speed. Skates towards the right side. Backhand shot saved by Paperny as Mikey Colella showcasing his talent here at Maverick Center tonight. As Eric Olson over the offense line, right wing. He's being shadowed by Noel. Olson, as he's falling down, centers to Derflinger. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Miska. And he holds on as Derflinger had a pretty good look. He decided to go glove side. Now we got a fight in the right corner as Noel fires 2-3 lefts. And he drags down Eric Olson. As Eric Olson and Andrew Noel drop the gloves in the right corner. I think Olson got the first punch in. Then 2 strong lefts by Noel. Noel wants to continue on with Olson. Now Andrew Noel is going to skate towards the penalty box as he gets the Maverick Center crowd fired up as he points towards the Grizzlies bench. As after the whistle, Noel and Olson, they decide to go at it. And Noel fired 2 strong lefts at Eric Olson. So Noel in his first fight as a Grizzly. And so he goes the box. So does Eric Olson. Olson goes 6'1", 196 pounds. And Noel is 6'1", 196. So 2 guys that have identical sizes. As the shot was taken by Derflinger, he fired a changeup that Hunter Miska was able to make the stop on. And then, 2, 3 really strong lefts by Noel. And then he dragged Olson to the ice. They show the replay. So, Noel and Olson, they each get 5 minutes for fighting. At least that's what Les McCauley would say. Draws going to be in the Grizzlies zone. 17:41 is the time remaining in the second period. The Grizzlies have taken 2 shots in the frame. Tahoe's taken 1. And that one was Derflinger right before Olson and Noel dropped the gloves. So we're still looking for the game's first goal as Friesen will take the draw against Pugliani. As linesman Andrew Collins skates towards the Grizzlies bench. It's a little bit of a stop as we're continuing to skate 5-on-5. As Friesen crouches down to take the draw against Pugliani. Fans still filing back to their seats from the concession stands. I went to the concession stands before the game myself. Tahoe wins the draw. Stanek, right wing, will take a lefty shot. And a score. We seriously don't think Stanik's an AHL player. He fired towards the net, and the lefty shot looks like Pugliani was the one that poked it in the back of the net as it bounced off of Miska. And Devin Pugliani stares down Andrew Noel as he high-fives everybody in the Night Monsters bench. Boy, Stanek just kind of overpowered the puck off of Miska. Puck was laying in the crease, and Devin Pugliani put it away for his 24th of the year. So for the third time in this series, the Night Monsters score first. It's an even strength goal. As Pugliani gets his 24th of the year, Sloan Stanek with his 21st assist, and Kalen Taylor picks up his 13th assist of the campaign. As Utah wins the draw, Lebster fires it in. Grizzlies won the face-off battle 14-12 in the first period. As Night Monsters' Lyndon Algier gets around Lebster at center ice before losing control of the puck. Gratton gets it. Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, tried to drop it for free since picked off by the Night Monsters. Tahoe ahead. Kevin Wall, right side, dangles to the circle. Centers the Stanek. Lefty shot. And Miska makes the save. And Gratton crashes the net open. But once again, Sloan Stanek out in front. Boy, what a beautiful pass. And just kind of a tap in front of the crease towards Miska, who is able to collect it. Sloan Stanek might be one of those guys we saw when we had Dastu here during the 2021-22 season. It wouldn't shock me if 4 years down the road we see Stanek on television in the National Hockey League. Or as my dream goes, I'm calling the game and Dastu's on one side, maybe Stanek's on the other. Draws give me the Grizzlies zone left circle as Gustafson will take it. And Manning for the Grizzlies. So Tahoe leads 1-0 on a goal by Devin Pugliani, 2:26 in. He now has 24 goals in the season. Tahoe skates in. Backhand shot. Delayed penalty. Miska makes a stop as he denies Cholach. Slashing is going to be the call, and I think it's going to be on Utah. Going to the penalty box is Neil Shea. He gets 2 minutes for slashing. 16:58 left in the second as Tahoe goes on the power play for the first time tonight. As Shea kind of on a back check there as Cholach tried to backhand it in front. And Shea, he got a piece of him, but I'm not sure how much of a piece he got. Shea gets a slashing minor, 3:02 in. Ryan Anderson looked at the video board of the replay, and he wasn't entirely thrilled. Let's see where Shea got a piece of him. Yeah, maybe if you wanted to call a hook. I mean, they called it a slash, but well, Shea didn't really get much of a piece on Cholach there. If you could say one thing, maybe Cholach, you got his stick kind of interfered with just enough to where he couldn't, get any air under the backhand shot towards Miska. That's one of those. That's a tough one from the Grizzlies to take from their perspective. Tahoe leads 1-0. They've got the second best power play in the league. Grizzlies were 3 for 3 on the PK last night. Gustafson, he'll dump it in from neutral ice. He gets tripped up by Colby Enns. Boy, Grizzlies got away with one there. As the Grizzlies will clear it out. As Paperny off his stick, puck will slide towards the near wing where it's accepted by Samuel Maie. A minute 30 left in the Tahoe power play. Night Monsters lead 1-0. They have scored first in each of the 3 games in this series. Ends around the boards. It's cut off by Mike O'Leary in the left point. He gets to the circle for Gustafson up top to Maie, who directs it to his left. As O'Leary dances, pivots. He surveys. Now solicited up top towards Maie. He slides it to his right. Now back towards O'Leary. Off the stick. As O'Leary was thinking about capturing the puck and shooting it just about in one motion. Riley Connors clears it out. And the Grizzlies will get 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill. And the Night Monsters will get a fresh 5-man unit on this power play. 52 seconds left in the Tahoe power play as fans take up Let's Go Grizzlies chant. Stanek over to the right wing. Now back towards Stanek in front of the net. He wasn't in much of a shooting angle as he had ricochet off him. Up top is Luke Adam, the 35-year-old. He'll drop it off as Kevin Wall. He battles with Lebster. Wall with the puck near the blue line. He'll drop it off to a vacated left point where it's taken by Cholach. He'll feed it to Adam in front of the net. Trying to get back to Cholach. It's tapped away by Utah. Adam behind the net. Skates towards the right corner. Gets it towards Maie. Across off the boards. As Kevin Wall gets it. He's been productive against Utah this season. Less than 20 seconds left in the power play. Wall trying to center to bounce off the Lebster. As Tahoe gets it towards Cholach. He's near the blue line, but he kept it in. As Night Monsters, right point. Stanek slides it across the wall. Fakes a one-timer. He'll toss to the right corner. Nobody's there. Loose puck as Adam overskates it. Boileau clears it out. Grizzlies are back at full strength as both teams are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. As long-range feed past Kevin Walton, it goes all the way down. Icing is waved off. Derflinger gets hit by Boileau. Puck hits a stanchion, goes to the near circle. Manning will wobble the puck as it kind of twirls in the air a little bit. Derflinger re-enters. He's surrounded by 4 Grizzlies. Tried to drop it off to Stewart, but the Grizzlies took it away. Manning gets double-teamed, rolls along the wall. Algier gets it in the right point. He throws it to the middle of the ice, goes past Derflinger at the end of his shift. Colby Enns will skate across center ice, and he'll saucer it deep into the Night Monster zone off the U of U health sign behind Paperny's net. And the puck is rainbow deep into the Grizzly zone from Tahoe, and it goes all the way down for an icing. Tahoe just about broke a team record for icings in a single period. And I think that's their first icing here in the second frame. So draw's going to come back towards Jordan Paperny as the Grizzlies are still looking for their first goal of the night. Grizzlies had 8 goals on Wednesday in an 8-3 victory. They had goals from 7 different players. Tahoe kind of turned things around defensively, only allowing the power play goal to Riley Connors, 10:57 in. And the Grizzlies have had their chances. They had 6 scoring chances in the first period, already a couple here in the second, but haven't found a way to get one past Paperny yet. Night Monsters win the face-off. They get out towards center ice. Keenan Stewart gets it taken away on the back chip by Salem. Salem left point, a fire lefty shot, glove saved by Paperny, and he will hold on with an even 14 minutes left in the second. As Salem looks at himself on the video board, he knows that he had a pretty good look. But with all the defensive injuries the Grizzlies have had as of late, Luke Salem's really picked it up, and he's played some good hockey. So Grizzlies are without Luke Antonacci, Robbie Stucker, Sage Weinstein, and Noah Gansky, all out with injuries. And even beyond that, the Grizzlies have had quite a few injuries to other defensemen. Some of them not even on the roster right now. I mean, Avery Winslow's been out since early December, and he was released to create some roster space. Tahoe tried to clear it out. It gets redirected, and it goes out of play. Somebody's going to get a frozen puck from section 125. Time out on the ice, 13:55 is the time remaining. Tahoe's Devin Poliani scored 2:26, and that's the difference in the game. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
13 minutes and 55 seconds left in the second period. Tahoe leads 1-0. As draws giving the Grizzlies zone. Last of a 3-game series. It's a rubber match. Utah won 8-3 on Wednesday. Tahoe responded with a 3-1 victory on Friday night. Grizzlies had the forward line of Timofeyev, Connors, and Genev on the ice. It's an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies. They skate from left to right here in the second period. As Luke Salem took a shot with an even 14 minutes left in the second, and the puck went out of play with 13:55 left. The draw won by Tahoe as they skate around their own net. She'll launch ahead towards Merritt. Connors' his first name. Puck at center ice. It's backhanded in by Kalen Taylor, the first-year pro, former Clarkson captain. As Luke Salem around the boards, and it's off the Timofeyev's stick. Genev gets the loose puck in the left wing. He skates towards the centering pass to Connors. Brady shot, kick saved by Paperny. As Genev, he's in the left side, just outside the circle. He's averaging 2 points per game. Arm is raised by the referee. It's going to be a penalty on Tahoe. Timofeyev, he fires a righty shot and kind of flubbed it. And it's touched by Kalen Taylor. As interference is going to be the call. And going to the box is going to be Trent Swick. So Swick gets 2 minutes for interference. Time of penalty, 6:40. We have 13:20 K-Fan left in the second period, and seeing 13:20 in this particular time of years, that's a touchy subject for me, as I was working at 13:20 K-Fan for about 4 years, and on February 27th of 2017, the station folded. That was a tough day yesterday, as we celebrated I can't say we celebrated, but we had the 9-year anniversary of that. In fact, fun fact, I actually hosted the final local show in the history of 1320 K-Fan. It was the Tyson show on February 25th. 2 days later, the station went away as they had national radio shows between my show and the time the station folded at 3 o'clock on February 27th of 2017. As Tahoe leads 1-0, Night Monsters won the faceoff to start the power play. As Grizzlies cross center ice, Gratton throws to the middle of the ice where it's taken away as Sloan Stanek skates towards left wing, swings towards the net and kind of fanned on it as he had Hanson Bucata on the back check. Stanek on a tough angle, tried to bounce it off the Miska. Webster goes down. Stanek challenges the play. And seriously, Sloan Stanek has 4 goals in 12 AHL games. He looks like he's a player that's at a different level from anybody else that's on the ice this evening. As Michael Leary off his stick now goes to Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain. He left wings it to Genev, who's magical on the ice. And so get to Hanson Bucata to the left wing. Friesen tried to throw it in front, and it's kicked away by Cholach. Friesen gets it back and tosses it to Genev. He'll skate towards the left circles. Genev feeds it back up top to AHB. Across the Webster right wing. He'll slide it to Genev, who's now on the right side. Genev surveys, stars it, and a righty shot. And that one gets sticked away and it flies out of play as Webster slams a stick on the ice. He knew he had a good chance as Genev was able to get the pass from one circle to the other as Webster fired away, but somebody for Tahoe got a stick in the way. As Noel comes out of the box, and so does Eric Olson for Tahoe as they're done serving their fighting majors. As Grizzlies switch up skaters as there's 58 seconds, actually 53 seconds left in the second period. I need some new glasses. As Manning will take the dries out there with Barbashev, Connors, Shea, and Salem. That's a party of 5 for Utah. As it was Paperny that slid towards his right and was able to make the stop. Is that Jordan Paperny or Dominic Hasek tonight? Boy, he's been a tough one to score on. Off the draw, Shea fires towards the net, saved by Paperny. Rebound out in front, taken by Maye. As he'll skate towards the far corner. But rare rebound allowed by Paperny. Grizzlies couldn't get that second shot off. Puck around the boards. Salem chased after it. Gustafson gets there around at the same time he did. Connors over to Shea in the right wing. He's got 4 power play goals this season. Shea back to Connors. His righty shot's blocked. Connors gets it back. Backhand shot saved by Paperny. Puck still alive. Shea throws it towards Manning. Wraparound shot saved by Paperny. Salem fires towards the net. Saved by Paperny again. And the Night Monsters clear it. Off the near wing boards. Kevin Wall gets it. He's in the left circle. Backhands. Oh, he tried to get a shot off and couldn't. Skated around the net, but couldn't keep his balance with the puck to get a shot off around Hunter Miska. Less than 10 seconds left in the power play as Kevin Wall gets it around Salem. Puck around the boards, and coming out of the penalty box is Trent Swick. Utah's 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. Grizzlies still looking for the first goal of the game, but Utah's put the pressure on. As Shea drops it, as Noel back towards Shea on the right side. Shea skates towards the circle, keeping his head up. As he gets the puck taken away from him by a Night Monster, and that's Kalen Taylor. Poliani over the offensive blue, drops it for Stanek. And offsides the call as Poliani was skating into the offensive zone, dropped it outside of the zone. And so the Night Monsters will have a neutral zone draw with the Grizzlies as they were called for offside. So there's 10:59 left in the second period. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 20-13 as we're just about at the halfway point of this scheduled 60-minute affair. Nobody scored in the first frame. The Grizzlies outshot the Night Monsters 14-7. Lone goal of the game was scored by Devin Poliani. The initial shot was taken by Sloan Stanek from the right side. Puck kind of trickled in the crease, and Poliani put it away. Kalen Taylor also picked up an assist. Grizzlies have had plenty of scoring chances, but have yet to get one past Jordan Paperny. Tahoe scored the first goal for the 3rd straight time in this series. Rubber match of a 3-game set. Utah won 8-3 on Wednesday. Tahoe won 3-1 last night. Tahoe at center ice gets it. Sloan Stanek. He dances around, skates towards his lefty, fires lefty shot that goes wide. Puck to the right wing, and it bounces in deep. Puck hit the opposite in front of the crease, where it's taken back by Utah. Grizzlies will drag it out to center ice. Mikey Colella's got good speed. Skates towards the right circle. Backhands it out in front. And Hanson Bucata didn't get enough of a piece of it, but that might draw a penalty. Hooking's going to be the call. And it's going to be another Utah power play. CJ Valerian can't believe it, but he's going to go to the box. Well, that's the Grizzlies' speed drawing another penalty. That's speed in motion there as Kallela skated towards the right side, fed it out in front towards Hanson Bukata, and AHB couldn't accept the pass as he was being hooked by Valerian. Grizzlies are one of the fastest teams in the league, and when they utilize the speed skating north-south like they did on Wednesday and like they did right there, they could either score goals or draw penalties. So it's Utah's third power play and second here in the second period. When they say speed kills, that's what they're talking about right there. And that's speed being utilized in the finest fashion. Didn't turn into a goal, but it turned into a power play because teams in the back check are just trying to keep up. And if Hanson Bukata would have caught it cleanly, he would have had a great day chance against Paperny. Utah wins the face-off as Friesen has the puck in the left point across to Genev. He hangs out on the right side, skates towards the corner, drops it for Granton up top as it's fumbled by Hanson Bukata, and he goes back to neutral ice. The whistle blows for an offside as there's 10:15 left in the second. When we really saw the Grizzlies utilize their speed was the division championship club, the 2021-22 season. That was a beautiful team to watch, in part because not only did they have great speed, but they utilized it to their best of their ability, especially out in open ice, where not only were they able to score a ton of goals, but they were able to draw penalties and really make some nice creative plays. And they did that just about all season. Grizzlies win the face-off, but they're back in their own zone, skating from left to right. Hanson Bukata shields Merritt of the puck. Now he shields another night monster of the puck. Hanson Bukata skates towards the right corner. From one corner to the other as Friesen lets it go to the point. Kevin Wall bouncing off of Genev. Now siren pass. Lefty shot by Hanson Bukata, sticked away, and it goes out of play. As there's now 9:53 left in the second. So we've passed the halfway point. Still looking for the Grizzlies' first goal. As Tahoe found the back of the net. 2:26 in. So 1:24 left in the power play. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Luke Manning will take the draw. He's got Barbashev to his left, Connors to his right, and up top is Neil Shea and Luke Salem. Remember, it was Riley Connors about this same time of the game that scored a power play goal. Grizzlies won the draw. Shea, one-timer, goes over the crossbars. He just got a little bit too much air under it on a one-timer from Salem. Salem slides to the left goal line. Manning, trying to find Shea out in front. Too many sticks in the way. Shea eventually gets the puck as he got some air under it off a Tahoe stick. Now the Night Monsters moving out to center ice. Luke Adam gets the puck, skates down the middle as he's surrounded by 4 Grizzlies. So Adam will just dump it deeper into the Grizzlies zone and come off the ice for a change. Halfway through the power play as Salem gets to neutral ice. Actually make that Manning. Manning with an A on his sweater. Skates into the offensive zone and the puck, Connors dropped it up and nobody was at the left point, which is the far side as we see it. Night Monsters will complete a line change. 40 seconds left in the power play. Shea crosses center ice, trying to get around Stanek, but it's poked away back to the center red line. Salem skates down the middle. He re-enters, veers off to his left. Salem's in the left circle. He'll whip it around the boards to Shea. Neil Shea, 8 goals this season. Over to Connors, left wing righty shot. Saved by Paperny. Now the puck goes to Shea in the right corner. And still throw it up top, but nobody was hanging out in the right point. Shea slams his stick on the boards. So come off the ice for a change. 13 seconds left in the power play. Tahoe switches up skaters again. Connors over the offensive line, gets around one Night Monster. Now he gets around a second, skates around Tahoe's net, gets to the left goal line for Friesen, who's trying to crowd the bouncing puck the best he can. Puck towards the right circle. It's taken by Tahoe as they're back at full strength. Webster and Genev get the puck as they'll skate towards the right corner. As Genev gets a rough ride from Merritt. Genev behind the net trying to feed it in front, and it's picked off by the Night Monsters. As O'Leary hit a Grizzly with an elbow, no call. Valerian skates to the left side. I tried to poke it across, looking for O'Leary, but he wasn't in a spot to collect the pass. Grizzlies ahead. They try to get to Genev. It goes all the way to Paperny, who kicks to the far side. Genev loses his balance, gets it back. They'll throw it to the left point. Grizzlies get it across, but nobody was hanging out in the near point. Merritt over the offensive line, drops for O'Leary. As O'Leary throws it in as he spins off a Webster check. Puck to the right corner as Manning slides it across. Webster gets off the wall at center ice. And he tried to get towards Colby Ends. Well, the passing's been a little bit tough here in the second period. Webster throws it in. As looked like the Grizzlies wanted a penalty. As Tahoe crosses center ice, Poliani, who's got the game's lone goal, he throws it into the corner. As Boiler, he gets lit up by Derflinger. Like Jake Derflinger, he's a bottle of energy for Tahoe. Kind of plays the game in a similar style as Timofeyev. As Colella delivers a hit on Lindbergh. As Stanek gets the puck, throws it to center ice to Wall. As Wall is surrounded by two Grizzlies. He loses control of the puck as Noel will get it ahead. John Gillette surrounded by two Night Monsters. Stanek took it away. Gillette brushed it ahead. Kevin Wall taps it. Now Maillet, left circle, take a lefty shot, and he scores. And after the whistle, Kevin Wall and Lindbergh's going after Noel. It's 2-0 Tahoe as Samuel Maillet. He went 5-hole under Miska. And everybody wants to go after Noel. They think Noel hit a Night Monster. They think they hit Maillet after he scored the goal. As there was a little bit of contact. Now both teams will try to cease and desist and head their separate ways. As it's 2-0 Tahoe. Night Monsters didn't even celebrate the goal. They just went right after Andrew Noel. As Maillet gets his 12th of the year. And now John Gillette, he's got some words. Night Monsters go into the box, and so is Gillette. As Maillet just kind of slid it under Miska. And then after the goal was scored, it was Noel that delivered a hit on Maillet. So Maillet with the goal. Kevin Wall gets his 23rd assist of the year, and Sloan Stanek now has 2 assists tonight. So Lindbergh and John Gillette are each going to the box. I believe it's matching roughing minors. Unfortunately, all year, the second period's have been a little bit tough for Utah. You know, we talked about how the Grizzlies have been a strong third period club, but in the second periods, the Grizzlies are at least a minus 25 in the goal differential. Just matching roughing minors will skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. We had a few instances where there was 4-on-4 action in last night's game. So Grizzlies have some catching up to do as Tahoe scored 2 unanswered in the second period. Poliani 2:26 in and Maillet 13:03 in. So he just kind of went low on Miska. As Grizzlies out towards center ice. Maillet's last name looks like Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R, but the pronunciation guide says Maillet. As puck deep in the Grizzlies zone, Dylan Gratton runs it down, gets towards Salem. A lot of spirit here in this 9th meeting between the clubs this season, 9th and final meeting. As Dylan Gratton, surrounded by 2 Night Monsters, he loses control of the puck. Gustafson crosses center ice, and on the back check, Manning took it away. Manning was actually on the front check, on the forecheck, and Gratton was behind him. 1:15 left in the 4-on-4. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 22-14, but it's Tahoe that scored 2 second period goals. As Stanek towards the left wing, now down the middle of the ice, and he skates in. Lefty shot, kick save off the right pad of Miska as he extended his leg out. Boy, the Grizzlies got to pick it up here. It looks like they may have run out of Petro. As Manning out to center ice, he gets twirled around by Algier. Fans wanted a penalty. There's none to be had. Geneva over the offense line skates towards Manning. And now the puck is taken by Sloan Stanek. Stanek down the middle of the ice. Now Geneva takes it away. As Grizzlies got to take a step forward here to climb back into this game. As Manning skates towards the corner, he gets a rough ride off the boards from Kevin Wall. As taking the puck as ends off his stick. 30 seconds left in the 4-on-4 and 5.5 minutes left in the second period. As Poliani will nudge it towards the Grizzlies bench. Cholach crosses center ice as he gets hacked by Connors. Cholach is a +11 this season. He'll throw it in. Timofeyev gets a rink-wide right wing feed as he'll cross center ice. He's now on the left side. Timofeyev drops it for Connors. Connors slides to the middle of the ice, but it was overled by Timofeyev as Timo was about 5 feet in front of the crease, but just couldn't reach it. Gillette out of the box, and so is Lindbergh. Gillette races to the bench. Tahoe with the puck. Long-range feed off of Lindbergh's stick out of the box. And Miska will slide it along the far wing. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Connors over to the left side, and the Grizzlies are offside as there's 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second. Utah's got some work to do as Tahoe's gotten second period goals from Devin Poliani and Samuel Maillet. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
4 minutes and 40 seconds are left in the second period, and Tahoe is taking a 2-0 lead. The second period's been tough for Utah this season. The Grizzlies are a club that have proven they can score in bunches. Neutral zone drop to the Grizzlies were called for offside. Tahoe wins the faceoff after the puck bounced off two sticks. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. It's Tahoe down the middle. It's a rubber match of a 3-game series. Final regular season meeting ever between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. Puck is dumped in. It ricochets off the stanchion. Rolls towards the crease, and Hunter Miska covers up. He's backed up tonight by Jacob Musatelli. Faceoff's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. On Wednesday night in the second period, Kyle Kaiser picked up a lower body injury. We're not sure how long he's going to be out of the Grizzlies lineup. But it's possible he'll be out a couple weeks. So face-offs in the left circle. It's Friesen taking it against Luke Adam. Pretty productive month of February for Luke Friesen, who has 6 goals and 5 assists in 11 games in the month. It's the 12th and final game in February for both the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. Out to center ice, Lepster near the Grizzlies bench. He enters. Lepster 28 goals this season. He fires toward the net and a ricochet off Paperny's glove and goes wide as Friesen keeps his feet moving, throws it out in front, looking for a combination of Lepster or Gratton. Dylan, that is. Friesen left wing, lefty shot, stick saved by Paperny as Friesen trying to go 5-hole on the Tahoe goaltender. As Algier back towards the far corner, he'll tap it off the glass, and the puck will slide towards the near wing boards of the Utah line, where it's accepted by Dylan Gratton. He moves it ahead. It's ricocheted off of linesman Craig Peterson. As puck now deep in the Grizzlies zone, Dylan Gratton, he'll drop it for his brother Tyler. Both guys played at Penn State and were teammates for a year. Gratton transferred to Arizona State 2 seasons ago. And Dylan Gratton played at UNO, University of Nebraska, Omaha last year, and Vermont this season. Lepster gets pinned to the boards. Lepster played with a couple different colleges. Salem gets it across. Salem gets lit up by Jake Derflinger. Hitting starting to pick up again. Gratton trying to get the puck at the Tahoe blue line before he got it taken away. As the puck back and neutralized, as Lepster gets hit by Kalen Taylor. And the Night Monsters, Jake Derflinger, floats it from neutral ice. Salem, long-range feed, is swept to Lepster. He'll skate towards the right circle, surrounded by 4 Night Monsters. 3 minutes left in the second period. And if we want to be quite frank, Night Monsters are outworking the Grizzlies here in the second period. Out to center ice, Kevin Wall, as he loses control of the puck. Both teams having a tough time getting control of the puck. Ice surface might be a little bit soft here in the second period. Lindbergh, left point, lefty shot, glove saved by Miska. He holds on with 2:42 left in the second. So see if the Grizzlies can get momentum back in this hockey game. Tahoe is one of those clubs that, because they've got 3 or 4 really talented offensive forward lines, you just have to keep working hard against them. And if you don't play a good 60 minutes, it's going to be tough to beat the Night Monsters. We reached the second round of the playoffs last year. And right now, if the playoffs started, the Night Monsters would be the 4 seed. Poliani will take the draw against Evan Friesen. Poliani scored the first goal for Tahoe tonight. Draw won by Tahoe as Algier around the boards. Andrew Noel hustles after it as he collides with Kevin Wall. Wall takes a spill. Noel with the puck again. Wall gives him a good side check. As Boilar joins the play, Boilar nudges Wall. As now Stanek gets pushed to the ice. 2:24 on a moving clock. Scrum continues on the right side. Now Boilar pops it out. He'll skate around Miska's net. He'll bounce it to Kallela, who stops on a dime, skates towards his own corner. As Colella gets tripped up, no call. As Noel will plop it forward. As the puck got some air under it, John Gillette hit Poliani near the Tahoe bench. Poliani is down, and that's going to be a penalty on John Gillette. High sticking's a call. One of the referees is checking Poliani's face for blood. John Gillette looking around, and it's going to be, is it 2 or 4? I think I see 4 fingers. Oh, boy. Tough break for the Grizzlies. It's going to be a 4-minute double minor high sticking penalty as Poliani was able to draw blood. Tyler Gratton arguing with both referees, but they saw blood. And it looks like Poliani's going to walk towards the Tahoe locker room, where he's going to sit down and get looked at by the trainer. As Gillette got Poliani up high as both guys were going after the puck that was airborne. The puck was airborne, and both guys were trying to get to the puck at about the same time. As Gillette got his stick up a little bit and caught Poliani, but was it the stick or was it the puck that got Poliani? Grizzlies are arguing. Now 3 officials are talking it over. They can't look at the video board as much as everybody would like them to look up at it. As Gillette did have his stick up there, but was it the stick that got Poliani's face or was it the puck? Because the puck was coming in as Noel kind of looped it about 50 feet, and it neutralized. Both guys were going after the puck, and they may be talking whether it was the puck that got Poliani in the face, and that's why there was blood. And obviously the optics, if you just saw the one shot high, I mean, Gillette did have his stick up there, but they're not allowed to look at the video replay at center ice or really any video board across the league. And I don't think this is a reviewable play, so they're going to talk it over for a little bit and see if they can get the call right. So this is an interesting call. I'm not sure we've seen anything to this sort, and I think they might take the penalty away. I don't think there's going to be a penalty. It's an interesting one. So there's no penalty on the play. Faceoff's going to be at center ice. Well, that's an interesting play. I'm not sure I've seen anything quite like that, as the puck was kind of coming in airborne, and puck ricocheted off Poliani's face. Gillette had to stick in the area, and they had, obviously if you saw it live, you might think that Gillette got him with a high stick, but it was the puck that got Poliani, and so there's no penalty. So we're skating 5-on-5. There's 2 minutes left in the second period. Taylor dumps it in. He's got great speed. As he gets around Hanson Bukata. AHB holds Taylor along the boards. Hanson Bukata's parents are in attendance this evening. Grizzlies get the puck. Danny Genev races down Broadway. Now he veers off to the right. Genev over the offensive line, stops the right point, gets to Timofeyev. He curls it to Connors. Shot, and it either goes wide or Perperny made an outstanding save. The 3-man unit almost got Utah on the board. They were the 3 stars on Wednesday. As puck will slide back towards Tahoe ice. As Lyndon Algier runs it down, he stops behind Perperny's net. Great shift by the forward line of Timofeyev, Genev, and Connors. Connors is off the ice. Timofeyev and Genev stay out there. Adam over the offense line, right wing, as he'll skate towards the middle of the ice, drop it for Merritt. Merritt, right wing, he'll take a lefty shot, and he scores. Merritt fired a low liner. I'm not sure it got any air under it, but it went stick side past Hunter Miska. It looked like Miska didn't really have good vision on it. It's now 3-0 Tahoe. Boy, Merritt, that was just a bit of a low one. Gustafson was in front of Miska. And this second period's gotten away from Utah. So Night Monsters get a goal from Connor Merritt. It's his 5th of the year. Luke Adam and Lyndon Algier with the assists. Unfortunately, the second period has been the bugaboo frame for Utah. Utah wins the faceoff, and Luke Salem fires in on Perperny as the first time on Grizzlies broadcast over the 30-year stretch where the word bugaboo has ever been used. As there's 1 minute left in the period, and fans thank Mark Larson for reminding him of that fact. Tahoe dumps it in. Salem throws it towards the far corner, and the Grizzlies, they've got some third period catching up to do, but Utah's been a strong third period offensive club. As the puck slides towards center ice, Salem gets it. As he'll skate towards the Tahoe bench. Now he's battling with Derflinger, who's on the back check. Salem trying to break free as Derflinger and Salem have each other pinned. As Derflinger has the puck pinned off his skate, just kind of hanging along the boards. as both teams trying to break the puck free, and puck slides towards the middle of the ice where it's in control of Utah. Pass towards Barbashev on the right side. Skates in as Grattan kind of lifted his stick so it could be entered by Barbashev. Puck will wobble towards center ice as Derflinger backhands it in. As Olsen around the boards to Derflinger in the left corner. He delivers a push on Boilar and time runs out as Derflinger and Boilar push each other, and now they stare each other down. Second period dominated by the Night Monsters. Devin Poliani scored 2:26 in to break the scoreless tie. Night Monsters took a 2-0 lead as Samuel Maye scored 13:03 in. And then 18:49 in, it was Connor Merritt getting his 5th of the year as he fired a low liner past Miska. So with the series on the line, Grizzlies, they've got quite a bit of work to do in the final 20 minutes to salvage some standings points and come away with the series victory. But the Night Monsters, they've got a high-powered offense, and they put it on display in the second period. After 40 minutes here at Maverick Center, it's the Tahoe Night Monsters 3 and the Utah Grizzlies nothing. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
After 40 minutes of play here at Maverick Center, it's the Tahoe Night Monsters 3 and the Utah Grizzlies nothing. All 3 goals were scored in the second period. Utah outshot Tahoe 14-7 in a scoreless first period. Grizzlies outshot the Night Monsters 10-8 in the second period. So 3 goals on 8 shots in the second frame. Just one of those with the Night Monsters and their high-powered offense. They just kept working the Grizzlies, and you don't want, it's kind of a judgment thing to say whether they outworked the Grizzlies in the second period, but Tahoe seemed to have a little bit more juice in the middle frame, and for the Grizzlies, unfortunately, it's been a constant theme where they have struggled a bit during these second periods of play. So see if Utah's got a third period comeback in them. Devin Poliani got the Night Monsters on the board, 2:26 in with Sloan Stanek getting the assist. Tahoe extended the lead to 2-0 as Samuel Maye scored 13:03 in. Maye got his 12th of the year as he just kind of fired low past Miska. Kevin Wall and Sloan Stanek each picked up the assist. Stanek with 2 second period assists. And then Connor Merritt fired a low liner. Not sure if Miska got good vision on it, as he might have been screened. Luke Adam and Lyndon Alger each picked up an assist. Utah is 0 for 3 on the power play. Tahoe is 0 for 1. The Grizzlies, they had their chances, 6 scoring chances of the 14 shots in the first period, 4 scoring chances on the 10 shots in the second period. And if you're watching on Flow Sports, there's the second period stats. Tahoe was 7 scoring chances on 8 shots. So they're not necessarily getting a high quantity, but the quality of shots seemed to be mostly grade A. Night Monsters won the faceoff battle 14-8 in the second period. So Tahoe, through 2 frames, has a 26-22 advantage in the faceoff circle. Grizzlies had 5 power play shots. Tahoe had 1 shorthanded shot. Night Monsters with 8 hits in the second period. Grizzlies had 7. So through 2 periods, Grizzlies have a 15-13 edge in the hit category. Giveaways, Grizzlies had 9, and they've had 15 giveaways through 2 periods, which if you're going to play a Tahoe team who does a good job in the transition game, turning defense to offense, that's a few too many giveaways. Tahoe with 9 giveaways through 2 periods, including 6 in the second period. This is a big game in the Mountain Division standings. If you really think about it, the Grizzlies, they've got to play, if you're looking at a point percentage, they've probably got to play 750 to 800 hockey the rest of the way. And it's big head-to-head going up against the teams that you know you're battling for a potential playoff spot with. You know, for the Grizzlies, it's the 9th and final meeting between them and Tahoe. So obviously it's the last time the Grizzlies can take away standings points from the Night Monsters. Grizzlies won 8-3 on Wednesday. Tahoe won 3-1 last night. And the Night Monsters, if they're able to win in regulation, holding on to the third period lead, they will be 14 points ahead of Utah going into the month of March, as Tahoe right now has 59 standings points and the Grizzlies have 47. Both teams have played an even amount of games, as Tahoe's playing in their 54th game, and that's the same case with the Grizzlies. So both teams will be 75% through the regular season. At least that's what my current high math says. And so we'll just see if the Grizzlies have some juice here in the third period. Utah has been, at times, a good come-from-behind club. They got to do it against a good goaltender in Jordan Paperny. As he's been strong for the Night Monsters so far, stopping all 24 Utah shots. Other games across the Mountain Division. Allen gets a road victory 5-2 over the Kansas City Mavericks, and that doesn't necessarily help the Grizzlies' cause. Doesn't help Tahoe's cause either. With the victory, Allen now has 63 standings points on the year, and they are currently 4 points ahead of Tahoe, as Allen came into play 2 points ahead of the Night Monsters for third place in the Mountain Division. Allen is 7-3-1 in their last 11 games. As the Americans got goals from 5 different players, and they defeat Kansas City 5-2, as the Americans have won each of the last 2 days against the Mavericks. Tulsa gets a 7-5 victory over Rapid City, as Mackinoff had a hat trick for the Oilers. And what a wild one. Tulsa scored 1 goal in the first, 3 in the second, and 3 in the third. Rapid City, 3 goals in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. Final score, Tulsa 7, Rapid City 5. Early third period, Wichita and Idaho are tied at 1. That game just getting underway in the third period. Jay Dickman scored 5:18 in, and Steinmetz scored a second period goal. We've got a litany of equipment managers here hanging out, as Matthew Schwegman. He's hanging out high atop Section 114. He's currently the assistant equipment manager with the Utah Mammoth. That's your Mountain Division scores. When we come back, we'll check on the NHL action. After 2 periods, Tahoe leads Utah 3-0. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West, or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say you get more from less.
After 2 periods, Tahoe leads Utah 3-0. I just ran into Matt Schwegman, the current assistant equipment manager of the Utah Mammoth. In fact, we've got 4 straight equipment managers here for the Grizzlies. We've got quite a lineage. We've got DJ McFarland, the current equipment manager. He was the assistant to Jackson Hibbert over the last 2 years, and obviously Jackson Hibbert on the Tahoe side. Mason Wayland, who was head equipment manager for the Grizzlies for 2 seasons. He's also in attendance. And Matthew Schwegman, he was an equipment manager for the Grizzlies for a couple of year stretch. And so they're just about all here at Maverick Center tonight. And I'm pretty sure they'll take a picture at some point, and it'd be certainly a good one, as we've got a good heritage of equipment managers, athletic trainers, and quite a few people that have gone their way not only from this league, but to the AHL and on to the National Hockey League. And that's certainly the dream of all of us, and hopefully that dream for some of us will come true. And for Matt Schwegman, obviously that dream has already come true. Busy night in the National Hockey League. There's 13 games going on. The Colorado Avalanche are in action, and they got a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. Connor Bedard scored for Chicago, 6:31 into the first period. Cale Makar scored a late second period goal, 19:51 in. The game-winning goal was scored by Gavin Brenly, 7:31 into the third period. Makar scored an empty netter for his second goal of the night, 18:33 in. Both McKinnon and Natchez assisted in each of Cale Makar's goals. And the Avalanche got a 3-1 victory over the Blackhawks. Colorado outshot Chicago 35-15. And for the Blackhawks, that's just the first of a back-to-back in the Mountain Time Zone. The Chicago Blackhawks will be in the Salt Lake Valley tomorrow afternoon, taking on the Utah Mammoth. Early second period, Kraken have a 2-0 lead over the Canucks. Chandler Stevenson and Vince Dunn each found the back of the net for Seattle. Games have gone final. Rangers got a shootout game winner from Vincent Trocheck. New York defeats Pittsburgh 3-2. Flyers get a 3-1 victory over the Bruins. Sharks defeat the Oilers 5-4. The game winner was scored 9:27 into the third period. Devils over the Blues 3-1. In overtime, Islanders get a 4-3 win over the Blue Jackets. Holmstrom picked up the game winner for New York. Senators get a 5-2 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs, as Ottawa outshot Toronto 40-23. Canadians get a big offensive effort with 6 goals on 25 shots. They defeat Washington 6-2. Carolina defeats Detroit 5-2 in a rematch of the 2002 Stanley Cup Finals. And the Kings get a 2-0 victory as Alex Laferriere and Adrian Kempe each scored a goal. And Anton Forsberg picked up a 29-save shutout. Other finals across the National Hockey League. Sabres over the Lightning, 6-2. Charles Edward Nastu played close to 16 minutes of ice time for Tampa in the loss. And in overtime, the Stars get a game winner from Jason Robertson, 1:47 in. It's his 33rd goal of the year. And Dallas comes away with a 3-2 victory over Nashville. But the Predators did pick up a standing point, and that's certainly big for Nashville's case, as they are currently towards the Western Conference playoff picture. And with the standing point, Nashville is now 1 point behind Seattle for the final wild card spot. You got a feeling in the Western Conference that the wild card spots are going to come down to the final week of the regular season. And the Pacific Division is also pretty evenly stacked. Vegas right now leads the Pacific Division. They're the NHL affiliate of Tahoe. They've got 70 standings points. Second in the Pacific Division is the Anaheim Ducks with 67 points. Edmonton has 66 points there in third place in the Pacific Division. And obviously, you got the wild card spots after that. In the Central Division, Utah is currently in fourth place. But the first 3 teams in the Central Division, Colorado has 87 points. Dallas has 81. Minnesota has 80. And the Mammoth have 66 points. And so if the Mammoth are able to make a playoff spot, they're probably going to have to get one of those 2 wild card slots. We've got a great crowd here at Maverick Center. In fact, they have counted them all, as Cameron Levy and his crew, I think, went and counted each seat that's been occupied here in the first 2 periods. And the attendance tonight is 6,723. 67,23 is the attendance here at Maverick Center. That's one of the biggest home crowds of the regular season. We'll come back and have third period action. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a comeback in them as Tahoe leads Utah 3-0. You've been tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
About set for third period action as Tahoe leads Utah 3-0. Grizzlies have had 10 scoring chances according to the off-ice officials. That's 10 chances on 24 shots. For the Night Monsters, it's not necessarily been a high quantity, but they've gotten a good quality. 9 of the 15 shots that they have taken have been considered to be scoring chances by the off-ice officials. That's 60% of their shots. And for the Grizzlies, a 10 of 24. My current high math isn't great, but that's a little bit less than 50%. Great crowd of 6,723. I think if I remember right, that's the second largest home crowd of the regular season. It's Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend as the Night Monsters now on the ice, and the Grizzlies will hit the ice shortly. Ink Against Cancer is here once again this season. You know, we try to stay positive here, especially with this being the Grizzlies' final hunt, and so it's tough to think about this being the final Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend, just as last month it was tough to come to grips. That was the final Guns and Hoses extravaganza here at Maverick Center. And the Grizzlies over the years, over 3 decades, really meant quite a bit to the hockey community here in the state of Utah. And obviously with just a month and a half left in this final season, Grizzlies and their fans are hoping to make some great memories that will last a lifetime. And Ink Against Cancer has certainly been a great one here, and they've been a great partnership with the Grizzlies, and hopefully, somehow we can find a way to extend it past this season. Some highlights of the first 2 periods we're watching on Flow Sports as Noel got in a fight early in the second period as he battled with Eric Olson, 2:19 into the second. The game was scoreless at that point. 7 seconds later, 7 seconds after the fight was when Poliani gave the Night Monsters a 1-0 lead. Sloan Stanek took the initial shot from the right side. The puck ricocheted off of Hunter Miska, and it was put away by Poliani. Fresh sheet of ice. We'll see who starts out the third period for Utah. Getting the start tonight was Manning, Shea, and Barbashev, but the Grizzlies do like to switch up the combinations to start each period from time to time. And it looks like to start the second period, it's going to be the forward line of Gillette, Yevdokimov, and Mikey Colella. That forward line over the course of this series has brought quite a bit of energy. The 3 goals by Tahoe in the second period. It's the first time in this series that the Night Monsters have put up a crooked number on the scoring sheet, as they had scored 1 goal in each of the first 6 periods. They had no goals in the first period and 3 in the second. 20 minutes are put on the scoreboard clock. John Gillette will take the draw against Stephen Poliani. The defensive pairing is Luke Salem and Dylan Gratton. As the puck slides between Salem and Gratton, Miska plays to the side of his net as Luke Salem gets the puck. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Gillette ahead to Yevdokimov along the right side. Stops in the right circle, gets knifed away as he gets it back. And he'll toss it off the stick of John Gillette. Now Gillette down the middle of the ice. He swings and didn't get much on it. Now down the middle of the ice. Shot to score! Yaroslav Yevdokimov gets his second of the year. And 25 seconds into the third period, it's now a 3-1 game. The fans are going crazy here at Maverick Center as Yevdokimov, as he was falling down in the slots, fired away past Paperny. As Yevdokimov centered it, and then the shot was blocked. Yevdokimov got it back. Yevdokimov tried to get to Gillette. His shot was blocked by Algier. Then Yevdokimov got pushed along his right side, and as he was falling down, fired away past Paperny. So 25 seconds into the third period, the Grizzlies' energy line comes up with the goal. They were outstanding on Wednesday. Yevdokimov with the goal, John Gillette with the lone assist, and that's 25 seconds into the third period. And Yevdokimov's second goal as a Grizzly, as he's a recent addition to the club. He's making his 9th appearance with Utah. He played in one game earlier this year with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. So Grizzlies get a little bit of momentum out of the locker room in the first shift of the third period. As puck towards the middle of the ice, Tahoe gets it. They're in their own zone, skating from left to right. As out to center ice, backhanding it in is Connor Merritt. Merritt scored Tahoe's third goal in the second period. As Genev fires it all the way down for a Utah icing. The arm is raised by both linesmen. 53 seconds into the third period. Looks like Mikey Colella is also going to get assists. That'll be his 4th assist of the year. So Gillette and Colella each pick up an assist. Strawn's going to be in the left circle. The fans here at Maverick Center have something to cheer about. Big crowd here at Maverick Center, second largest of the regular season. As Tahoe wins the draw, but they overskate the puck. As Enns gets it ahead. Now Genev races down the ice, 2-on-2. Steps over the offense line, drops for Hanson Buchanan. Backhand shot goes wide. Puck along the near wing as Genev sidesteps a check, trying to get up top to AHB, but it goes past him. Hanson Buchanan hustles after it deep in the Grizzly zone. He collects the puck in the far corner. As Dylan Gratton gets head to the Utah line, Friesen crosses center ice as he'll drop it. As Lepster, toe drag, right side is righty shot. Is blocked by Paperny. As taking the puck is Jake McGrew. He'll throw it from one corner to the other. Lindbergh and Gratton Dillon, that is, collide. Puck at center ice. Grizzlies recover. Salem around the boards. He'll zip it around the wall. Puck's taken by Dylan Gratton across to Salem. He's in the left wing at center ice. He'll fly it over Paperny's head. Gratton gets the puck. Loses it. Now the puck's to the left side for Lepster in the offensive zone. Drops for Andrew Noel. He's the left wing. Tries to feed it out in front to Friesen. The net is dislodged on Tahoe's side as one of the referees spots it. So they'll put the net back in place with 18:01 left in the third. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw for Utah. The Yevdokimov goal is the 49th goal scored by the Grizzlies in the month of February. And regardless of what happens the rest of the night, the Grizzlies will have averaged more than 4 goals per game in February. That is the highest scoring month for the Grizzlies so far this season. So they put the net back in place. And the Grizzlies have a forward line of Shea Manning and Barbashev, with Luke Manning taking the draw. Noel and Wall are the defensive pairing. Great Saturday night crowd. The crowds got bigger as the series progressed. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Largest crowd of the series. Waller, right point. His shot goes wide. Noel throws it around the boards. As the Grizzlies in the offensive zone. Waller, right side. He fires lefty shot. Saved by Paperny. And after the whistle, Manning, he gets some lumber in the back from Samuel Maye. So Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw. There's now 17:47 left in the third. So Manning will take the faceoff once again. But Waller's got plenty of velocity on his shot. And there's the cross check in the back that Manning took. That couldn't have felt good. Grizzlies win the faceoff. Barbashev, the second-year pro, sweeps one in front. And it's kicked away by Paperny as Manning gets pushed to the boards by Maye. A Grizzly goes down. Now Utah trips up Poliani. No call either. All calls going to be made on Utah. Delayed penalty. It's going to be a power play for Tahoe. Poliani bouncing off the Miska. Puck still alive. Stanek collides with Shea as now the whistle blows. Oh, it's interesting. It looked like Barbashev lost his balance. And then as he went down, knocked down a Tahoe skater. And the referee, who was kind of standing near the Grizzlies zone, made the call. They show kind of the loose puck on the near side. As Barbashev took it, he got hit in the back a little bit, nudged forward, and then as Barbashev was laying on the ice, tripped up Poliani. And it was enough for the call to be made. As Barbashev gets 2 minutes for tripping, 2:35 in. For the Night Monsters, it's their second power play of the game. 17:25 left in the third. Grizzlies trail 3-1. Face-off won by the Night Monsters. As Utah's trying to close the gap. Grizzlies have 5 shorthanded goals this season. Wall fires towards the net. It goes wide. He missed the net. Stick side on Miska. As Luke Adam was in front of Hunter Miska trying to offer a screen. Luke Adam and Hunter Miska were teammates overseas for the Straubing Club back in the 2022-23 season. Kevin Wall tries to get around a double team. Friesen takes it away. Salem will sail it all the way deep into the Night Monster zone as Paperny plays behind his net. Grizzlies will switch up skaters as Shneev's on the ice with Riley Connors. As Tahoe back to center ice. Wall will drop it to the right wing. Crossing center ice is Stanek. He'll feed it to his right. McGrew trying to get it back towards Stanek. It's sticked away by Colby Enns. Night Monsters will lose the puck out to center ice. Good job by Riley Connors challenging Tahoe at the Utah blue line. Adam surrounded by 2 Grizzlies. He'll get it back in deep as Adam was hanging out in the right point. Stanek throws to the right side as Stanek throws kind of a left punch towards Connors. Centering pass, shot kick saved by Miska, and it's looped forward deep into the Night Monster zone. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. 46 seconds left in the Tahoe power play. As we played about 4 minutes in this third period, it's 3-1 Tahoe. As Poliani will drop it off, as Gustafson, who's got an NHL contract with Vegas, skates across Grattan, across the center ice, steps over the offensive line. Swick gets up top, and has taken the puck away as Reed Lepster. He's got 2 short-handed goals this season. Skates down the middle of the ice. Lepster skating back and shot, saved by Paperny. As Lepster tried to go backhand, and Paperny anticipated the play and got a blocker in the way. As Night Monsters now have it deep in their own zone. But Reed Lepster offering some excitement to the Maverick Center crowd as he was pretty close to making it a 1-goal game. Lepster on the back check. As losing the puck is Maie. I'll make that number. Yeah, it was Maie who had a second period goal. He has 12 in the season. Coming out of the box is Barbashev. It's another successful penalty kill for the Grizzlies. And the PK, since the start of yesterday, is a perfect 5 for 5, which is certainly big against Tahoe and their power play unit that's averaging over 24% this season. About 5 minutes into the third period, Tahoe leads 3-1. Grizzlies have a little bit of momentum as Yevdokimov scored 25 seconds in. Barbashev cross the center ice. He'll move it to his right, trying to get to Manning. It's taken away. Derflinger off of the shin of Salem. Puck back to the Utah line. As Andrew Noel will backpedal towards Miska. Now a slide to rink-wide feed angle left to Shea. Tape to tape. Shea over the offensive line, but the Grizzlies are offside. And so play stops with 14:46 left in the third. What's on tap for the Grizzlies? Well, next week they will have a 3-game road trip. Friday night, they'll take on the Bloomington Bison at 6 o'clock. And then next Saturday, November 7th, or March 7th, they face Cincinnati at 5:30. And March 8th will be a 1 o'clock face-off at Cincinnati. Then the Grizzlies return home for a 3-game series against the Tulsa Oilers. The 3-game set against Tulsa is going to be on March 12th, 14th, and 15th as a gentleman chugs a beer. And not sure if he finished it, as when you're chugging a can, you can't see the progress of the beer, as opposed to when you have the bottle where you can see how much of the beer had been chugged. Not sure if he was able to get much of a drink or not. Icing on the Night Monsters. They dumped it in, but they were at their side of center ice. So Grizzlies with 28 shots, Tahoe with 17. I know all week we've been showing Jackson Hibbard, the Tahoe equipment manager. We've got the last 4 Grizzlies equipment managers in the house. DJ McFarland this year. There's Jackson Hibbard as he's sporting a beard. As Jackson talking with one of the forwards. He knows he's being shown on the video board. He doesn't want to look up. Now he looks up there. He folds his arms. As it draws going to be over in the left circle. I got to imagine his family's either in attendance or watching. As Tahoe wins the faceoff, they skate from left to right. O'Leary crosses center ice. As they'll throw it in, no Mason Whalen and Matthew Schwegman. Matty Schwegman, the former Peoria Riverman equipment manager. He's currently an assistant equipment manager with the Utah Mammoth. You have Dokimov, left wing, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. As Dokimov's looking for a second goal of the period. Hanson Bucata throws it towards the right corner. You have Dokimov lost his balance. Fans wanted a penalty, none to be had. O'Leary drops to Adam, but the Night Monsters are offside with 14 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third period. So both teams will switch up skaters. Rubber match of a 3-game set. 9th and final meeting of the regular season between the clubs. In the final 18 games of the regular season, the Grizzlies will have 12 home games here at Maverick Center. Make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com and be part of the Utah Grizzlies final hunt. Make some final memories as Ryan Anderson is having a conversation with the referee. And it didn't seem like it was a friendly conversation either. It's been the same 2 referees this entire series. As face-off at center ice is won by Tahoe as they enter from the left wing. As Night Monsters lose control of the puck. Good job by Boilar. As Sloan Stanek kind of gave him a left cross with his glove. Actually, it was Noel who made the great defensive play. So he did a good job shadowing Stanek. Tahoe gets the puck. They're in their own zone. Grizzlies back defensively. Kevin Wall skates down the middle of the ice. Tries to split double team. Backhands it towards Poliani, but he couldn't reach it. As Timofeyev and a Night Monster push each other. Timofeyev gets after it with Stanek. And Stanek got after it with Noel a few seconds ago. I think as a result, Timofeyev, according to one of the referees, got a little bit too aggressive on Stanek. And it appears that Timofeyev is going to get a roughing minor, and he doesn't like the cause. He's going to go after one of the referees. He can't believe it, but it's going to be a Tahoe power play. 13:36 left in the third period. As Timofeyev, he's incredulous. At least I think that's how that word is being used. I don't know. I have to check the thesaurus. 3-1 Tahoe, 13:36 left in the third period. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
13 minutes and 36 seconds are left in the third period. Tahoe leads 3-1. Stepan Timofeyev got 2 minutes for roughing, 6:24 in, and he's in the box for 2 minutes. It's Tahoe's third power play of the night. Grizzlies have been successful in their first 2 penalty kills. Other scores across the Mountain Division. Late third period, Idaho leads Wichita 4-1. As Jade Miller has 2 goals to lead the Steelheads attack. Tulsa, in a high-scoring affair, defeats Rapid City 7-5. And earlier today, Allen gets a 5-2 road victory over Kansas City. As Grizzlies win the draw, they'll clear it out. There's Tahoe back deep in their own zone. As there's about 13 and a half minutes left in the third period. Night Monsters out to center ice off a Stanek's stick. Miska well out of his net, and he will twirl the puck in the air all the way deep into the Night Monster zone. As Grizzlies will switch up skaters. As Night Monsters out towards center ice. As puck at center. Night Monsters slide the puck, and it wobbles off a Night Monster. Now Reed Lepser gets the puck. He'll skate towards the right point before he loses control of it. Cholach will take it for Tahoe. They stop behind their net. Night Monsters spread the ice. As there's a minute 13 left in the power play. Adam at center ice. Right wings to McGrew. The pass is too hot for McGrew to handle as he falls down. As Adam battles with Salem. Loose puck. Gratton Tyler, that is, gets there at the same time as the Night Monster. Kevin Wall feeds up top, high slot. Cholach sires to Adam. Shot kick saved by Miska. And now Adam tried to center to bounce off of McGrew's stick. He regathers it in the right point. Stanek over on the right side to McGrew. Swings and didn't get much out of one-timer as he had Lepster in front of him. As Kevin Wall skates towards the left point. Drops to a spot he vacated. McGrew trying to slide it across to Stanek, and Tyler Gratton gets a stick in the way. As Kevin Wall gets hit by Tyler Gratton. Take the puck as Luke Salem will saucer it all the way towards the Tahoe goaltender Jordan Paperny. He's played another solid game. He has saved 28 of 29. 22 seconds left in the power play as Tahoe leads 3-1. Pugliani crosses center ice. He'll chip it in. It goes past Trent Zwick. Running it down is Boilar, and he'll slice it all the way across ice. Puck ricochets off Tahoe's backboard. As Grizzlies are hoping this successful penalty kill will get a little bit of momentum for the rest of this contest. Tahoe fires it all the way as Miska kicks it with his right ankle. Grizzlies are back at full strength. Puck up the opposite center ice. Pugliani near the Grizzlies bench, trying to throw it in, didn't get very far. Hans Bukata slides it across to Boilar, sporting a beard. Boilar, 4 fighting majors this season. Cross-ice feed to Barbashev. He'll drop it. Neil Shea lefty shot kick saved by Paperny. Shea gets it back. Rolls along the boards. It goes back deep into the Grizzlies zone as the puck went past Dylan Gratton. 11:07 on the moving clock. Grizzlies race out to center ice. Manning slits it to Barbashev off the boards. Barbashev stops in the right point. He gets pushed by Stewart. Dylan Gratton backhands to the right corner. Utah tried to get up top to Colbiens, but Tahoe got a stick in the way. Derflinger trying to get around Manning. Barbashev takes the puck. He'll slide it towards Colbiens near a circle of the Grizzlies zone. He'll solicit one angle left to Shea. Ahead to Barbashev. He'll skate along the left wing. He'll drop it for Shea. Left wing lefty shot kick saved by Paperny. As Manning overskates the puck behind Tahoe's net. As Derflinger will stride along the right wing, cross center ice, skating smoothly. Cross the center ice, and he'll chip it in and chase after it. As Ends drops for Dylan Gratton. As Gratton drops it for Ends. As Grizzlies appear to have switched up the defensive pairings here in the third period. But it does look like all 6 of them are seeing some time in the third frame. Pass to center ice is picked off. Skating in Samuel Maye, but he gets taken away by Timo Fev, who gets his jersey dragged. And that's going to be a penalty as referee spotted it. I think they're going to send Timo Fev to the box as well. It looks like referee Jamie Pavia pointed to players on both teams to go to the box. As Timo Fev was skating down center ice, he got dragged by the back of his jersey. Timo Fev went down, but I don't know that it's just going to be one penalty. It looked like Luke Gagnon made the call, and then Timo Fev, as he was skating towards center ice, as he got dragged down by Maye, but I think Timo Fev is going to get a diving and embellishment. Timo Fev's arguing the case near the Grizzlies bench. He's arguing with one of the linesmen. The linesman's probably saying, I didn't make the call. So Timo Fev's going to get a second penalty of the third period. So he can't believe it. He's shaking his head and going to the box. So we got matching minors, and we'll skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. So Maye gets 2 minutes for tripping, and Timo Fev gets 2 minutes for diving and embellishment. As Maye was on the back check, Maye didn't get a piece of the ankle of Timo Fev, but it looked like he got him up about waist high. Timo Fev went down, and both guys get a penalty. So Tahoe's got the puck deep in their own zone. As obviously 4-on-4 situation opens up the ice. Both teams have good playmakers. Tahoe skates down the middle of the ice, now to the right wing into the offensive zone. As Taylor throws to the corner for Michael O'Leary, he skates back to the point. Now O'Leary will voluntarily skate back to center ice. He skates around the center ice logo. Now drop it back. So O'Leary gets it back from the defenseman. As O'Leary feeds to his left at center ice. Puck is taken by McGrew. Skates around ends. McGrew chips one out in front. It goes over the crossbar as he was firing on a tough angle. Genev at the Utah line gets the puck. As he surveys, O'Leary and Cholach will come off for Tahoe. Genev over the line. He skates down the middle of the ice. And he gets tripped up by McGrew. And that's going to be a Utah 4-on-3 power play for 1:08. As Genev skated down the middle of the ice, and as he was entering the offensive zone, McGrew tripped him up. And so that's going to be McGrew going to the box along with Samuel Maye. So there was 1:08 left in a 4-on-4 situation. 9:13 left in the third period. And the Grizzlies will have a 4-on-3 power play. I think Ryan Anderson and John Buchanan are contemplating whether they use their timeout. Anderson's got the clipboard out. I don't think he was able to use the timeout, but I think he was able to draw something up. So you'd talk about the ice opening up a little bit more. 4-on-3. Grizzlies are down by 2. And we'll see if this is an opportunity with the Grizzlies utilizing their playmakers out in open ice. Even in the offensive zone, there's not as many players clogging up the middle as there would be in a 5-on-4 power play. So Gratton will take the face-off. He's out there with Webster, Hanson, Bukata, and Shea. As Gratton won the draw, the linesman says we'll do it over again. 3 forwards and 1 defenseman on this 4-on-3 power play. As draw one by Utah. Shea's down the middle of the ice. He's all alone. He'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. As Gustafson will knife it out to center ice. Puck wobbles outside like a tire. Gustafson gets around Hanson Bukata. Gustafson left swing. He fires lefty shot, and it goes wide. As it was kind of a prayer towards the net. As Gratton hits Gustafson. No penalty as Gustafson's hurting a little bit. As Lepser towards the left wing. Drops to the middle of the ice for Hanson Bukata over to Gratton. One-timer saved by Paperny. And the Night Monsters clear it out. Miska cuts it off, and he outlets it ahead. Off of Lepster's skate. Puck twirls in the air as O'Leary will throw it back towards Grizzlies ice. So we have 30 seconds left in the 4-on-3 power play, and then it will turn into a 5-on-4 for a little bit of time. Shea in the left point. Grizzlies are in the attack zone. Utah's outshot Tahoe 31-17, but it's 3-1 Night Monsters. Webster gets it towards Hanson Bukata down the middle of the ice over to Shea, right circle, back up top to AHB over to Shea. As Shea gets to trying to get to Gratton. Alger gets a stick in the way. As Gratton will slide it along the boards towards the right point, cut off by Hanson Bukata. He gets to Gratton as Miska slams a stick on the ice. Now we have a 5-on-4 power play. As over towards Shea. He swings and misses. Timofeyev's out of the box. Tahoe clears it out. Power play, 5-on-4 for the next 41 seconds. As Timofeyev crosses the ice, trying to split a double team, and Swick tapped it away. Connors gets it for Utah. He'll slide it ahead to Genev, who has momentum crossing center ice. Genev skies it forward as the puck kind of twirled in the air about 5 feet. As Tahoe gets it, they throw it up and not out. It's bounced off of Salem's glove, but it's taken back by Tahoe. Luke Adams skates down the middle of the ice, stops in the right circle, and tried to find a trailer for Maillet, but he let it go as Maillet and Timofeyev were trying to play it at the same time. Tahoe throws it in. It's sticked away by Miska. Less than 10 seconds left in the power play as Riley Connors gets the puck. He'll skate along Broadway, splits a trip of Stanek. Now puck towards the right wing, and Tahoe's back at full strength. Night Monsters clear it all the way towards Miska, who's looking for an outlet pass. As Grizzlies, outlet one angle left to Yevdokimov, who's got Utah's lone goal over to Gillette. Left circle, take a lefty shot. And saved by Paperny. Once again, Yevdokimov and Gillette making things happen. And after the whistle, Yevdokimov getting after it with Artur Cholach. So Grizzlies looking for a comeback. They're hoping to capitalize on the 4-on-3, but just couldn't get one past Paperny. Couldn't really get a strong grade A chance on him. As Yevdokimov got after the Night Monster. Last of a 3-game set, and really if you have any beef with the opposition, you have to settle it tonight. There's no more meetings between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters for the rest of the season. And unfortunately, no meetings between the clubs for the rest of the existence. As draws over in the left circle. Face-off won by Tahoe. As they'll race out to center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. As Algier rolls it along the boards. Kevin Wall collides with Andrew Noel. Puck to the near corner of the Grizzlies zone. Now Kevin Wall slides it up top. Algier fires lefty shot. Glove saved by Miska. He holds on with 6:35 left in the third. Grizzlies looking for a comeback. They've had some successful penalty kills. Or the 4-on-3 power play, if we're talking about the golden chance for Utah to climb back into it. It might have been that 1-minute stretch. Grizzlies have put together a pretty good effort. 3 games in a 4-day stretch. Next week's going to be a very tough 3-3, with the third game being an afternoon affair and travel between the first and second game from Bloomington to Cincinnati. Luke Manning will take the face-off for Utah. He's been a strong team leader all year. Grizzlies won the draw as it kicks off a Miska. Colby ends, plops it forward. Barbashev gloves it and drops it at center ice. Bouncing puck to the center ice logo. Manning drops for Hanson Bukato, advances it to Barbashev. Over to Shea in the left wing. Shea tried to get to Barbashev. He swings and misses. Puck went all the way towards Paperny. 6 minutes, 15 seconds on a moving clock here in the third period. Barbashev delivers a big hit on Kalen Taylor. It's Night Monsters will sky it over Manning's head, and Enns runs it down at the Utah line. Now Enns around Miska's net. As Colby ends in the specialty jersey. Second game, the Grizzlies have worn these sweet-looking jerseys. Black jersey with white numbers, white lettering, and purple trim. Jay fires it in onto Paperny. The Tahoe goaltender has saved 33 of 34. Night Monsters off the boards. It goes towards Merritt, and he'll drop it off. Merritt scored the third goal for Tahoe in the third period, 18:49 in. Night Monsters fire towards the net from the high slot, saved by Miska. Grizzlies clear it out. It's going to be icing on Utah. No, icing's waved off. 5:30 left in the third. As Grizzlies looking for a comeback. It's 3-1 Tahoe. 3-1 was the final score in last night's game, with the Tahoe Night Monsters getting a victory. All three goals here tonight for Tahoe have come in the second period. As at center ice, Gustafson will backhand it in. Puck will kind of wobble and twirl on the ice as Dylan Gratton gets it towards Luke Salem. Dylan Gratton looks like he's going to have a bright future. He's had a fun weekend, and he's done a good job for the Grizzlies over the last 3 games. Utah's had some injuries on the blue line, and Dylan Gratton looks like he's going to be a keeper. As Tahoe battles deep in their own zone as Grizzlies try to center it. Reed Webster, but it's picked up by Tahoe. Night Monsters will push it over Dylan Gratton's head. Tahoe will skip it from one corner to the other. Luke Adam reverse it back to the right side for O'Leary, who skates along the board, shadowing Dylan Gratton. O'Leary falls down, no penalty. He skates towards the right corner, trying to break free of Gratton. As O'Leary fires towards the net, is blocked by Friesen. 4:30 on a moving clock, third period. As Andrew Noel gets to the middle of the ice, dangling back and forth as Reed Webster gains the center red line. He'll chip it in and accelerate after it. Webster gets there before Algier. Grizzlies made a change around Webster now to the right wing. Righty shot by Connor, saved by Paperny. As Connor's trying to go glove side on Paperny. About 4 minutes left in regulation. That's 3-1 Tahoe. Brawlar drops for Enns. It feeds Diz left for Genev, who skates towards the left circle. Genev looking for a shooting angle. There was 3 Night Monsters directly in front of him. But for Danny Genev, it's tough because he's on the top of every scouting report for visiting teams. Opposing teams all year. Genev moves Diz right for Timofeyev. Timo over the offensive line, lays it for Genev. Left wing, lefty shot, saved by Paperny. As Jordan Paperny, he might be the number 1 star of the game. Right wing, righty shot. Glove saved by Paperny. Shot was taken by Colby Enns. 3:38 left in the third. We'll find out how this ends on the other side. Tahoe leads 3-1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Well, in the state of Nevada, they like to put the chips to the center of the table every now and then, and the Grizzlies are doing so right here as Hunter Miska is to the bench. Utah's net is empty, 6-on-5. Tahoe leads 3-1. There's 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in regulation. Grizzlies scored 25 seconds into the third period. That's the lone goal that they've scored. All 3 of Tahoe's goals have come in the second period. Night Monsters will plop it towards the empty net. Lepster chasing after it. No icing as Lepster gets it behind his empty net. Yes, he'll get to his right. Grizzlies still in their own zone. Connors chips to the center ice area near the Grizzlies bench. Now Tahoe fires the empty net, and it's skated away by Webster. Actually kind of crowd around his skate, and he was able to play it. Salem around the center ice logo, across the center ice, make that Genev, skates in. As Genev towards the left corner, throws it around the boards. Trent Swick trying to sweep it away, fanned on it. Gustafson fires towards an empty net, and it's sticked away by Hanson Buchanan. Got redirected to no icing. AHB runs down, skates around his empty net. 2:50 on a moving clock, 3-1 Tahoe. Right wing feed out to Friesen. He throws it to the corner as Cholach about blew a tire over in the right corner. Friesen, he battles behind Tahoe's net over to Genev. He'll slide it up top. Webster in the high slot. He fires a righty shot, and it's blocked. It was blocked before it got to Paperny, as there was a lot of bodies hanging out in the crease. Or in the slot, out in front of the crease. Out at center ice, McGrew fumbles the puck with Genev nearby. McGrew dives towards a loose puck. Couldn't corral it. Now the Grizzlies get it at neutral ice. Lepser across the center red line, gets around Luke Adam, gets around John Gillette over the line. As Lepser skates towards the right corner, reverses it to the left point. As Genev gets the hands of Buchanan back to Genev. Long shift for the first-year pro out of Penn State. AHB over to Lepser. Left wing will fire a righty shot and hits the side of the net as Paperny did a good job closing off the near post. 2 minutes left in the third period. Still 3-1 Tahoe. Up top, Hanson Buchanan skates towards a high slot. Over to Lepster in the left circle. He surveys back to Genev. One-timer, and he swung and missed. Genev gets it back. He'll drop it to the right corner. Gillette back up top to Genev. He hangs out over the right side. Slides to Hanson Buchanan. Over to Lepster. Directs it back to Hanson Buchanan. Over to Genev. Back towards Lepster, but Friesen had it tap off his stick as he thought it was intended for him. 1:30 left in the third period. As Genev throws it towards the middle of the ice. Puck ricochets, hits the side of the net on the outside of the cage. 1:22 left in the third period. Hanson Buchanan takes a shot, gets it to Genev in the right circle. Back to AHB, 1:15 left. He'll fire lefty shot, and it's sticked away, and it goes out of play. As Luke Adam taps Jake McGrew on the back. As he says, good job, as McGrew had to bounce off his stick, and it flew out of play behind Paperny. 1:12 is left in the third period. Time is running out on the Grizzlies. Boy, they had a ton of offensive zone time. The Night Monsters did a good job clogging up the middle, and Utah just couldn't find a way to get the puck in there to that Gray Day scoring spot. So it looks like Utah is going to use their one timeout as Ryan Anderson's got the clipboard out, and he's going to drop a play. As Ryan Anderson talking with Timofeyev and Shea. And if the Grizzlies want to keep that seam, they probably are going to switch up skaters. That same six-man unit was on the ice for a good 2 minutes. And during most of that stretch, the Grizzlies were in the offensive zone. And the Grizzlies kind of have fading playoff hopes, and they know that, boy, to have a chance here at the end of the season, they're going to have to play some great hockey. And they knew there was a golden opportunity with Tahoe, a team that, if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to have to find a way to gain some ground on. And after Wednesday's 8-3 victory, Grizzlies were feeling good about it. But Tahoe's really stepped forward and played two outstanding games defensively, winning 3-1 last night. And right now the score is 3-1 with 1:12 left in the third period. So it looks like Riley Connors will take the draw. He's got Luke Manning hanging out around him. Also watch out for Timofeyev. He's been active in this series. And his faceoffs in the right circle. Grizzlies have outshot the Night Monsters 38-20. Tahoe gets the puck, 1:10 left in the third. They'll bank it off the boards. It's kept in by Timofeyev. Mark Larson, how much time's left in regulation?
Less than 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Well, thank you, Mark. You almost let me down there. Salem over in the left point. Across the Shea. Dramatic pause, I guess. Salem right side. He fires towards the net and it ricochets off Connor's stick and taps off the glass. 42 seconds left. It's 3-1. Time's running out. Timofeyev, high slot. His righty shot. Blocker saved by Paperny. And it flies out of play. 36.9 seconds left in the third. Boy, we've seen some miracles here at Maverick Center, but it looks like time's running out. It's the Night Monsters, and you got to tip your cap after allowing 8 goals on Wednesday. And after Wednesday's game, there was a 4-game stretch where the Grizzlies had scored 27 goals against the Night Monsters. Yeah, but you got to tip your hat. Tahoe really buckled down defensively. They didn't allow too many odd man breaks, too many chances for the Grizzlies to utilize their speed. And Tahoe, boy, they played some good hockey both yesterday and today. Kind of earning the standings points. Rubber match of a 3-game set. And looks like the Night Monsters are going to win the series, barring a miracle. Tahoe will throw it towards, well, the puck is blocked by Utah down the middle of the ice. And a shot by Connors, saved by Paperny, as Connors a little bit limping, as it looks like he's kind of favoring one of his ankles with 28 seconds left. Boy, you have to be impressed with what Riley Connors has done here in the month of February. 11 goals and 5 assists. This is the Grizzlies' 12th game of the month. Doesn't have a point this evening, but he's been awfully impressive. Grizzlies win the draw. Hanson Bukata will scale towards his left. Now right side. Janea fires towards the net. Saved by Paperny. 20 seconds left as Lepster behind the net. Now it's taken by Tahoe, and they will roof it, and then puck bounces to the empty net and a score. And this baby's in the refrigerator as the Night Monsters score from about 200 feet away as they take a 4-1 lead. As a goal, I believe, was scored by Jordan Gustafson. Not much of a celebration for the Night Monsters, as they just kind of put the proverbial cherry on top. And it's Jordan Gustafson. He's got an NHL contract, and he's a highly skilled forward, and it takes a lot of skill to do what he did there, as he was over in the far corner deep into the Night Monster zone, and he's kind of looped it, got some air under it. Puck slid about from neutral ice on. Gustafson gets his 8th goal of the year. He's the reigning league player of the week. So it looks like the Grizzlies are going to finish the month of February with a record of 5-4-3, as Tahoe's going to finish February with a record of 6-5-0-1. Horn sounds as the Night Monsters got 3 goals in the second period and 1 in the third, and last regular season meeting between the clubs, and the officials are going to plead for both teams to go to the locker room. Now it looks like we got a fight, but the linesmen are going to make sure that doesn't happen, as CJ Valerian and Andrew Noel stare each other down. Final score, Tahoe 4, Utah 1. Yaroslav Yevdokimov scored Utah's lone goal 25 seconds into the third period. So Tahoe wins 2 out of 3 games in this series. Grizzlies will be on the road next weekend. Next Friday, they'll take on Bloomington, and then Cincinnati on Saturday and Sunday. Next homestand for the Grizzlies will be a 3-game set, March 12th, 14th, and 15th. As the fans start to file out here. And both teams defensively put together a really outstanding first period effort. Well, you knew if the Grizzlies were going to come away with 2 standings points tonight and win the series, they're going to have to put together a grade A effort against a Tahoe club that reached the second round of the playoffs last year. And this season, they've been, it looks like, in one of the top 4 spots in the division all year. As we mentioned, nobody scored in the first period. Utah outshot Tahoe 14-7, and the Grizzlies had 6 scoring chances to the Night Monsters 2 in the first 20 minutes of play. In the second period, it was Tahoe that got an early lead. 2:26 into the second period. Devin Pugliani got his 24th of the year. Sloan Stanek with the assists. 7 seconds before Tahoe got on the board, there was a fight between Andrew Noel and Tahoe's Eric Olson. And that was 2:19 into the second. And right off the next face-off in the right circle, Tahoe won it. Stanek, who's had some success not only with the Night Monsters, but up in the AHL with Henderson, he's played well. He fired towards the net, and the puck was trickling in the crease as it ricocheted off of Hunter Miska, the Utah goaltender, and Pugliani found the puck, and he slid it past the goal line for his 24th of the year. Stanek with the lone assist. And then the eventual game winner was scored by Samuel Maye, 13:03 into the second period. He got his 12th of the year with Kevin Wall, and Sloan Stanek gained the assists. Connor Merritt extended Tahoe's lead to 3-0. He scored 18:49 in. It was his 5th of the year. Adam and Algier with the assists. Grizzlies outshot Tahoe in all 3 periods tonight. 14-7 in the first period, 10-8 in the second, and 16-6 in the third. Grizzlies needed to change momentum heading into the third period, and they got a goal in their first shift of the frame. As Yaroslav Yevdokimov tried to start to Gillette. Gillette's shot was blocked. Yevdokimov got it back, and as he was falling down, fired it past Paperny. Yevdokimov got his 2nd of the year. John Gillette and Dylan Gratton with the assist. At one point, it looked like the secondary assist was going to go to Mikey Colella, but they have changed it, and now Dylan Gratton gets his second assist of the series. He had 2 assists in 3 games this week. Grizzlies, they had 18 shots. They had a few scoring chances. I'm not sure just exactly how many in the third period they had, but they had their chances in the third frame, but just couldn't get anything past Paperny. Utah had their opportunities. They had some power plays. Grizzlies had 4 power plays. Tahoe had 3. Neither team was able to get a power play goal. Just one of those things where, Tahoe, a team that has been a little bit more offensive oriented, they really buckled down defensively. They did a good job making sure the Grizzlies couldn't get out in open ice, utilize their speed. We saw a lot of odd man breaks in the Wednesday game where the Grizzlies scored 8 goals on 34 shots. We didn't see nearly as many of those 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 type of situations where the Grizzlies can utilize their speed and playmaking ability in open ice. So you really got to tip your cap to the Night Monsters who buckled down both yesterday and today. Grizzlies have pulled the goaltender rather early. With about 3.5 minutes left in regulation, they pulled Hunter Miska. Grizzlies had plenty of offensive zone time, but the Night Monsters clogged up the middle, and the Grizzlies just couldn't get that grade A chance to close the gap. And then eventually, Jordan Gustafson had the puck in the far corner of his own zone, and he just kind of looped one ahead, got a little bit of air under it. It bounced at neutral ice and then slid all the way past the goal line, and it was an impressive-looking shot. Of the scoring chances in the third period, you mentioned the Grizzlies had 16 shots in the frame. 9 of the 16 were considered to be scoring chances. So according to the off-ice officials, 19 of the 40 shots were scoring chances. And to only get 1 goal on 19 scoring chances is certainly tough. Part of it is obviously a good goaltender on the other side. Grizzlies actually outchanced. If you're talking about what the off-ice officials consider to be scoring chances, Grizzlies had 19 and Tahoe had 11. I guess, what you could say is that, the Night Monsters kind of made more of their chances count than the Grizzlies. And there's many factors for it. Unfortunately from Utah, they haven't been a strong second period club this year, and it was really the second period that got them, as 3 of the 4 Night Monsters goals were scored in the second frame. The empty net goal scored by Gustafson was 1948 in, and right now it's listed as unassisted. Great crowd here at Maverick Center of 6,723 as the highlights roll on Flow Sports. And for the Grizzlies, it wasn't necessarily a must-win in the standings, but going into the month of March, Utah will be home 12 of the final 18 games, but they are 14 points back of 4th place Tahoe, and Tahoe certainly needed the victory to stay within 2 points of 3rd place as Allen defeated Kansas City earlier today. Play got a little bit chippy and physical throughout. Early in the second period, Andrew Wall got in a fight. We saw a little bit after the whistle with Noel getting after it with a Night Monster. As you show the Merritt goal, that was the 3rd goal scored by Tahoe. As Merritt fired away, kind of a low liner, and not sure Miska got good vision on it. It seemed like, Miska was, the shots that were coming in high, Miska, played them pretty well. It seemed like some of the Tahoe goals, they were kind of those low liners that were able to find the back of the net. As there's a Noel fight against Eric Olson. That got the crowd fired up. It's pretty good. It was a pretty fun brand of hockey that both teams are playing tonight. But, just one of those with the Night Monsters. They kind of with that strong identity. And it's one of those things that I was kind of joking with a couple people earlier today that, when you throttle a team 8-3 the way the Grizzlies did, especially a team that's got a really good coach in Alex Lowe and a really strong foundation with some veteran players and a couple good goaltenders. Cameron Whitehead got the loss on Wednesday, and on Thursday he got called up to the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights. And so Paperny started the final 2 games, and Paperny, he saved 26 of 27 last night, and tonight he stopped 39 of 40. It's on Flow Sports. There's the Yevdokimov goal. As well as he was falling down, was just able to get it past Paperny. One of the most productive forward lines this week was the line of John Gillette, Yaroslav Yevdokimov, and Mikey Colella. But despite the loss, Hunter Miska, he made some strong highlight-type saves. He saved 17 of 20, but he played a little bit better than what the box score would say. Obviously, the 4th goal was on an empty net and doesn't count against his name. As Grizzlies, I thought at times were able to get traffic in front of the net, but really against Paperny, that's how you're going to have to beat them. And really with Yevdokimov, it's almost like those routine plays. He's going to make the stop every time, but when you got a guy like Yevdokimov, he's falling as he's making the shot. I mean, those would be the ones that you believe would turn into goals. And that last save that Paperny made, that was a blocker save, and he had a screen in front of him, so he didn't have good vision of the shot. And, sometimes you don't want to say it too often. Get in the habit of every time you lose a game, I just tip your hat to the other team, tip your hat to the other goaltender. But in this case, Paperny, picks up his 6th victory against Utah this year, and it seemed like he was able to stop everything he was seeing, not only tonight, but last night as well. 3 stars of the game. 3rd star is Luke Adam from the Tahoe Night Monsters. He had 1 assist and was a +1. 2nd star is Samuel Maie. He scored what turned out to be the game winner, 13:03 in. And the number 1 star is Jordan Paperny. He stopped 39 of 40. So that's the 3 stars of the game here at Maverick Center. As Tahoe picked up 4 out of a possible 6 standings points, Grizzlies 2 of a possible 6. Tahoe with the victory, their record goes to 28, 21, 2-3. They're now 12, 12, 2-1 on the road. So they're a break-even club away from Tahoe Blue Event Center. And for the Grizzlies, they're 20, 27-7 on the year through 54 games. They are 5, 15-4 here at home. Grizzlies are above 500 on the road this season. But oddly enough, they've struggled here on the Maverick Center ice. Next week's certainly going to be a big one. Time is running out for the Grizzlies as they're 14 standings points behind with 18 to play. We've seen things like that happen in the past, but Utah's going to have to win just about 3/4 of their games, then hope that Tahoe, maybe a little bit of Wichita and Rapid City, who are teams that the Grizzlies have to jump over as well, that those teams struggle down the stretch. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting final 18 games. Utah will be home for 12 of the 18. The 3 games once again next weekend. Utah will face Bloomington for the final time. Remember, Bloomington was here recently for a 3-game series. Grizzlies picked up 3 out of 6 standings points in that set. It will be next Friday, March 6th at 6 o'clock. Coverage will begin at 5:45 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. And then Saturday, March 7th is going to be a 5:30 start. We'll probably start at about 5:15. And then Sunday, March 8th is going to be a 1 o'clock start. So you're talking about 3 games in 2 cities, with the 3rd game being an afternoon affair. Certainly tough on the schedule, tough on the body. But as we mentioned before, the Grizzlies have been strong away from home. Next homestand for the Grizzlies is going to be a 3-game set. It's going to be against the Tulsa Oilers. That's going to be a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday set, March 12th, 14th, and 15th. Remember, the Grizzlies will be home for the final 9 games of the regular season. While the fans are filing out of here, it looks like we'll get out of here as well, as Utah Grizzlies got a goal from Yaroslav Yevdokimov 25 seconds into the 3rd period. That turned out to be the lone tally. 12th and final game in February. Grizzlies went 5-4-3 in the month. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 37 minutes, in front of a good crowd of 6,723, the 2nd largest home crowd of the regular season, the Tahoe Night Monsters picked up a 4-1 victory. Final Hunt Friday auction. Go to the Nash Auction app frequently, as there's plenty of good stuff, Grizzlies memorabilia, and things you're going to want to hold on to, especially jerseys, autographed pucks, mini sticks, name plates. They've got all sorts of fun stuff at the Nash Auction app. So you want to visit it frequently, as it seems like every so often you'll see new items on the Nash Auction app that will certainly be great keepsakes for many years to come. So make sure to go to Dash. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday in the near future get to the National Hockey League. Tahoe gets a 4-1 victory over the Utah Grizzlies. You've been listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.